Keanu, Van, Velzen, Radek, Saganski, Good, Cooper, Graham Hall, Scott Taylor, Neil Duff, Nathan Porter,
Jack Drayton,
Chaz Foster, Simon Stevenson, Jamai Vanden Herik.
The final Champions Week group is about to get underway. Good luck trying to pick a winner. Very good evening. Welcome back to the Live Lounge here in Portsmouth. Champions Week well underway. Group B about to get underway. Paul Nicholson has been alongside me all week, and you're back for more tonight. Group A, brilliant. Group C, remarkable this afternoon. And Group B promises something similar.
Yes, can't wait for this tonight. I'm really interested to see what Keanu van Velzen can do, because he's had a long break between winning his week and coming back. I just wonder if he's had a little bit of advice from his brother, who has won this title before, and he's got his name on the trophy. So interested to see him, but there are other candidates that we'll want to get our teeth into as well.
This afternoon we saw the opening of Group C, and Group C currently belongs to one man, and that man is Steve Green.
Again. Green's going to get a match start. And that match start's a double 18, and that match start is got.
Taylor gets first dibs. And he's in business. Oh, that is exactly why he's a former series champion for a champagne shot. I like it. I absolutely love it. Those who had picked Green would have been in the minority.
Correct. I think all of them would have predicted Derek Coulson making it, though. Double 16.
Getting shot at first.
He might not be hitting the middle, but he's hitting the beds.
Temptation succumb to it with a lie in that treble 20, and now for a perfect day, Steve Green needs double 5. Steve Green leaving us all astonished with his 5 wins out of 5 this afternoon. You can't help but love him. He's an absolute superstar.
He is. I think in times gone by, he's had slow starts on daily campaigns, but the way he's peaked for his first game today and being able to keep it going against some very stiff opposition, it just goes to show that if you're given the gift of time, and time, I mean nearly 3 months, looks to me like he's used it very wisely. He's come here fresh and ready. That's a dangerous combination.
It's like he's embracing everything that this week encompasses. He's embracing the underdog tag. He's embracing the opportunity to sort of make a real big name for himself.
Yeah, the problem with today, Sam, is that the underdog tag disappears. Now he's got a 4-point cushion. He knows that if he wins 2 more games, he's going to be in Saturday night and a chance at the trophy. But the underdog tag, it has vanished. Now he's got the target on his back, a bit like Derek Coulson in Group A. So we'll see how he handles that tomorrow.
Yeah, here is how that Group C table looks going into tomorrow afternoon's session. Steve Green, 5 wins out of 5. Chaz Barstow making a real late surge throughout the last stage of the session, accelerating himself up into second. He's 2 points ahead of Scott Taylor, Radek Zaganski, and Nathan Potter, who was a little bit battle-scarred after his Group A exploits. But it's still all to play for tomorrow, but maybe just for second spot.
Yeah, I think so. Green looks very comfortable. I know that he's going to have that target on his back tomorrow and maybe shoulder a bit more pressure, but I do see him winning at least 2 games to make his way through. Stats do tell us that 14 points is going to be comfortably into Champions Night. As for the people behind them, I think that's going to be the tale of Friday afternoon. People vying for 1 spot. I can't wait to see what happens.
Let's remind ourselves then of the group breakdown then for this Series 13 Champions Week. We know already Derek Coulson is safely through to Champions Night here on Saturday after winning Group A. as he always seems to do these days when he's here, Derek Coulson. Group C, Steve Green highly likely to join Coulson on Saturday, but still with a little bit of work to do. But tonight, as we've mentioned, Group B taking centre stage. Simon Stevenson, who ran through the card in Group A, finishing second yesterday, is back alongside Jack Drayton. And this evening's newcomers, Keanu van Velzen, Neil Duff, a 6-time weekly winner here, and Jamai van den Herik, who has some serious recent form at least. He won here last week.
Yes, absolutely. He was really good in Group B last week. A marked improvement from Group A to Group B. So playing at night, obviously, that's something that he can do very well. His doubling last Thursday and Friday was just delicious. If he can recreate that tonight, I think he will sail through to Champions Night to try and put another Dutch name on the trophy. But it's not going to be simple because there are candidates in this group who could spoil his party, and he's had a really tough week because he's had to go back to the Netherlands, do a couple of days of work, and I'm sure his head's going to be spinning a little bit. But him in the middle of the pack at 4-1 to win the group, I can understand that because we understand that Jack and Simon are getting that running start from Group A.
Simon Stevenson, the 11-10 favourite. I am guessing that doesn't really surprise you.
Not one bit. I fully expect Simon to qualify. I think the way he's gradually improved through the week. And even when he wasn't winning, he was still playing pretty well. But yesterday, 5 wins from 5. We didn't think anybody was going to have a clean sheet on any day of Group A. He's the person who did it. And I think he won everybody's respect.
Looking forward to this. Let's get this Group B underway, shall we? Jack Drayton opens up the show against Jamai van den Herik. And earlier on this evening, Jamai caught up with Henry Deacon.
Jamai, short layover for yourself. 3 days on from your previous victory here at the Super Series. How much you looking forward to the first crack at Champions Week?
Oh, I'm definitely just enjoy it. If I just play my game, I'm happy enough.
A few days ago, so you should know all about it. What were your memories of your Week 12 win?
Just overflowing, to be fair. It was a really big relief as well, because there was some burden on my shoulder, but I think I'm over that.
In terms of burden, was that the fact you've not won one yet? Was it the fact you've not won a title in 2026? So what was that burden in your mind?
No, just a little bit more personal, relationship-wise. So that's pretty much it.
So back here for Champions League, the fact you won Week 12, is that a help for yourself? The fact that you've won straight away, you can go back for a few days knowing that your game's in a good place?
I think so. I'd like to think so, because I've been here just a couple of days ago. I played well, and I hope just to continue the trend.
Back into a Group B scenario. Fair to say last week there was some good, some bad in that group.
Yeah, but as long as I can start good, then hopefully the rest will just flow.
Is that key tonight, particularly in a group like this? Get off to a good start. Don't leave yourself with work to do come Friday.
Yeah, I've seen this group, all great players, so a good start is needed.
Have a good one tonight. Wish you well, Jamai.
Thank you very much.
So much at such a tender age. But one of the last things to tick off his list is a Super Series weekly win, but he's just done exactly that. The last player into Champions Week is Jamai van den Herik.
The winner, it's Jamai van den Herik!
The big matches are going to come thick and fast here this evening, starting with 2 young players who have the darting world at their feet. These pair have talent in abundance. Jack Drayton, flying high on the development tour, facing off against Jamai van den Herik, Week 12 winner just last Saturday night. Van den Herik can blow people away with his explosive scoring power. And Drayton, measured composure for big moments. Once again, Paul Hinks is our referee in charge for this evening. A legend on stage with 2 young guns. If either of these can lift the Super Series title comes Saturday night, that could really set them on their way. For this opening match, it's over to the commentary box with Paul Nicholson, and a very good evening to Henry Deacon.
Thank you, Sam. Evening, everyone. And so here we go, the midway point of Champions Week 13 here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. By the end of play tonight, we would have seen all 12 of the contenders that could possibly lift this trophy come Saturday evening. Some of them in Group C have already played themselves out of contention, but it's a clean slate for Jamai, Velzen, Herik and Jack Drayton. And this match might be played at a Champions Week now, but this feels like a glimpse into the darting future, and two players who you would sense will be plying their trade on the main tour for many years to come. And you never know, Paul Nicholson, we could be sat in our rocking chairs with our slippers and cigars in a few years' time and say, when these two are jazzing it out at the top end of the sport, we saw them here first.
Yeah, sign me up for the slippers, by the way.
60.
That's a big tick from me. But what also gets a big tick is what Jamai did last week, especially in Group B. His doubling on the Thursday night was ridiculous at times. After 3 games, he was on 75% for the night. If he gets anywhere close to that, he's going to be bagging points before midnight. But it is fair to say that he's up against a tougher group this week. His chances may be limited.
57.
However, I think the fact he's had a few days off and coming to Group B might help him. I remember speaking to Cam Crabtree after he won a week 12 and went into a Champions Week, and he said, I would have been absolutely
58.
gassed out if I played the Group A. There would have been no chance I could have played a week and then play the whole of the next. And the fact he had those few days off, played in the Group B scenario, I think it was for him, and then had the 2 days for getting through to the Champions Night. He'd lose in the final, of course, to Andreas Harrison in that 1-2-1 checkout. But those few days means he's kind of got the best of both worlds, where he knows his game's in good shape because he's literally just won, but he
59.
isn't doing what John Henderson did and had to really crack it out over 2 weeks.
Yeah, Scott Taylor had to do it. 1 week 12, ended up winning the series. How he did that, I don't even think he
90.
knows to this day.
I
think he spent a week in autopilot. But he has had a couple of days off now. And he's on a 164.
117.
And it was right on line.
Jack Ricard, 136.
Well, the fact that he floats his darts, he is partial to 1 or 2 dropping low. And this would be some punishment. Some punishment indeed. Would have been some start for Jack Drayton.
Jamai Ricard, 47.
Starting hot. I know they've thrown 6 visits already. But the key is in the attempt at the finish.
15.
I think we
Jack
both looked at
Ricard,
one another
16.
after that first dart at double 16 was thrown, and we gave him no chance there because the whole target would have been obscured, and if you're
Getting shown
anywhere
the
near
first
it, it would
leg,
have bounced
Jack
out
Drayton.
anyway. Jack Drayton makes no mistake on the double 8. He gets an opening break. Leads 1-0.
Through first.
Yeah,
Game
Drayton's
on.
week seemed to tail off on day 3 of Group A when he knew his challenge was done. He played Derek Coulson in round 1 on Wednesday when
46.
he lost that match. Very, very small margin it was, by the way. It just felt like he knew he was going to be in Group B. However, it was pretty close.
60.
He could have been in Group C. He was almost caught by Graham Hall. So he had to settle for 3rd spot.
Which for Jack is a new experience because when he played here in his weekly win, he absolutely bulldozed the field in Group A to get through to Saturday night's final.
140.
So tonight is a new experience for him. He's never played on a Thursday night here or a Friday night. And that begs the question, doesn't it, Henry? We've gotten used to
59.
the format of going through to 1:30 in the morning, but take Jack's schedule tonight. First game, last game, 2 in between.
105.
He's got the long shift.
However, I would argue if there's anybody that's able to customize to that type of scenario, it's Jack Drayton. Now, away from playing darts at a very, very high level. He's
58.
studying at university. It's a course specialised to the art of golf, so coaching, playing, looking after greenkeeping and all that sort of stuff. So, and you know better than anybody what the discipline of golf teaches you in terms of temperament, in terms of timekeeping, in terms of preparing yourself in the right
32.
way. If there's anybody that will know how to harness that art to the best of their degree, it's that man in your picture there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Golf teaches you etiquette. It teaches you discipline.
134.
And to a certain degree, at his very young age, emotional management.
$85.
He's the type that, when we saw him in the flesh a few weeks ago, didn't get too high when things are going well. And even though he didn't have many lows, when he had one or two frustrating moments, he didn't
64.
dwell upon it as he
Jamai
looks at 93 here to double up his lead. Not his best performance by any stretch of the imagination, but so far, his
Game
job
shot on the
half
second
done.
leg, Jack
2-0 up,
Drayton.
Jack Drayton. Jamai Vanden Herik hasn't got out the traps yet.
Third leg, Jamai to
Really
throw
hasn't.
first. Game on.
Some people need that. I'm going to call it a running start from now, and I think it's a pretty apt statement. We've spoken in the past, even about Neil Duff. He plays better in
97.
Group B or C after playing 3 days in Group A because any cobwebs or any ring rust that's lingering, that goes away after 3 days. Now, Jack has played some very
140.
good darts the first 3 days. But this reset mentality that we talked about a lot, he's had that running start of reps every day. Vanden
93.
Herik, what has he had the last 3 days? Work and travel. And that's after doing 6 days last week.
Well, I can tell you that Jamai travelled over first thing this morning,
93.
played in a local ADC tournament last night. Took the first plane in to the United Kingdom. Has rested up in the afternoon. And is hoping to go
140.
again tonight.
If I may be honest, that is risky. Especially the way things are with travel in
98.
the world right now. That is a risk.
I get the sense it was more a necessity thing because of the last-minute nature rather than anything else.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Maybe I'm a bit old school.
84.
If you're playing in a
Johnny Carr,
tournament, no matter what
170.
time of day it is, get there the night before.
Well, Drayton isn't going to go reeling something in down the live lounge lake.
134.
Well, considering his
Jamai
game
Carr,
face, I wouldn't be
87.
surprised if he scared the fish out of the pond.
So this to get a footnote in this game, Jamai Vanden Herik. He's going to get 2 in hand at double 18. Able to
55.
follow. What looked like a
Carr,
decent guy with
36.
dart 1 there. And so this for the double break and 3-0.
He's missed some doubles, but he's missed them by quite some distance.
Game shot on the third leg, Jack Drayton.
Let's face it, Drayton looks a lot sharper. He could
Fourth leg, Jack
easily be
to throw
2-1
first.
down.
Game on.
He's taken full advantage of the chances coming his way. He might be off to a flying start.
I'm sure you've mentioned it with Sam Molyneux and Lord Turner throughout the course of the week, but outside Derek Coulson, this is the ball man in the field.
180.
2 Dev Tour titles this year, Isle of Man Open Championship. He's guaranteed as an absolute minimum to appear at the Lakeside in December. He could appear at the Global
120.
Championship, he could appear at Ali Pali, he could appear pretty much whatever he wants.
He's like your #1 draft pick in the NFL draft.
140.
He can go wherever he wants. It's his choice.
But you know what? It means that he can play the rest of the year with the shackles off because he knows come the end of it, he's going to be playing for something tangible, whether it be 50k at Lakeside
81.
or whether it be an opportunity to play at the Alexandra Palace. Come what may, he's got something in his diary that will end his season. And I'll tell you what, that's a big thing to have at this stage of the year.
105.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about a guy in his last Dev Tour win. He beat Dylan Slevin. He beat Archie Self and Cam Crabtree, who is the
140.
defending
Johnny Carr,
Development Tour
76.
champion. And this is to win 4-0 against somebody else who's dangerous.
60.
Well, that's ricocheted
Jamai
the other
Carr,
side of the barrel of
160.
dart too. And so this, Hail Mary time for Vanden Herik.
I think Drayton might have to figure that shot out. He's been going further away off the guide this week, and he's going to have to figure that shot out. I can't put it any
63.
other way.
Johnny Carr,
He goes
16.
outside. It's got to be a little bit further away.
2 4s to wrap up a 4-0 win. And to get his
Being shown
night
the match,
off to the
Jack Drayton.
perfect start, Jamai Herik has work to do and quickly. He takes on Keanu van Velzen in game number 3 of the night. As for that man in your picture there, Jack Drayton, he is on to a winning start, a 4-0 success. It was one-way traffic, if the truth be told, that contest. Coming up after the break, Duff, who's looking for a Champions Week to complete his set of titles here, takes on Simon Stevenson. It was the bullseye he found to beat Nathan Potter to win his previous week. It's double 5. It's 6 on the bench for Duff.
Finish 13, win 7, the Duff man,
The Duff man is in a league of his own. As for the 7-time champion of the Super Series, the Duff man, Duff!
He has almost done it all in this building. Neil Duff is a serial winner, but he's never landed the series title. Prolific in the regulation weeks, the Duff man, now 53 years of age, 6 times he He's won the weekly prize. He wants this badly. Simon Stevenson, quietly and methodically, has been plotting his route through to Champions Night. He ran through the card in Group A on Wednesday. He is the favourite to win Group B over the course of the next 2 evenings. And Paul Nicholson, I really wouldn't put it past him.
Not at all. He's the danger man. And everybody should be following his lead. Because the way he played on Wednesday, that kind of stuff is very hard to beat. Even Derek Coulson couldn't live with him on Wednesday. And that is saying something in this place.
I think it'll be hard to find someone who doesn't want this more than Neil Duff. The word he always uses every single time he is here is legacy.
Game on.
And I suppose he will only really complete that legacy with a series win.
That's true. That is 100% correct. But I think when you get to a certain age, I can't really say from my own perspective. I'm trying to listen to the other players who are over 50, and they all seem to want the same thing. They want to leave that legacy
81.
so that their name will be remembered for something very successful. Now, Neil is the most... Well, he's the winningest person when it comes to weekly titles. Nobody's won any more than him. But his Champions Week record is something he's not particularly proud of. He made the semi-finals in Series 12. He lost out to Tom Sykes in the semis.
60.
And let's face it, there's no shame in losing to Sykes when he's averaging 98. But in the next 10 days,
60.
Neil Duff could complete everything he's ever wanted to do under this roof. He could literally have it all.
60.
Absolutely. Teaming up with Richard McKee for Northern Ireland in international pairs next week. And Group B can often spring a surprise or two in a Champions Week.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's a very fertile breeding ground for champions. Because in 12 Champions Weeks, the winner has come from Group B 7 times.
The Duff man is starting very brightly indeed. He's well clear of Stevenson, who's a little bit slow out of the starting blocks.
100.
Duff is back
8.
for double four.
Game shot on the first
Yeah,
leg.
nice shot there from Neil. Good solid start. The only worry, I think, for Stevenson coming into tonight is the dreaded dart lag. Going from the early shift to the late shift. And let's remember, we're in a week where Stevenson has never played Group A before, and he's never played Group B before. That's how green he is when it comes to this place, because when he won his week just a couple of weeks back, he played Group C and Saturday night. That was it.
Yeah, he's battle hardened, as we saw with Chaz Barstow this afternoon. Hopefully he won't be battle weary like we saw with Nathan Potter and indeed Graham Hall.
140.
He's looking pretty good as Neil. It's very straight so far, which is a good sign.
60.
Seems like a long time ago that he was winning in that final against James Buckby. But he's looking very locked in at the minute.
He just always seems to find a way.
$140. Neil, look at 81.
Good reply from Stevenson. Wrong side of the wire, and the Duff man is disgusted.
I don't know why people keep doing it. I really don't.
49.
It's like being 6 yards out and passing it to somebody else. Why don't you just let rip? Big 12 bull. What's the worst that could happen? You miss the bull. At least you get a chance. People are obsessed
49.
with hitting the treble on that shot, and I
32.
don't get it.
Nevertheless, it may not cost him. It is a little bit awkward with that first
16.
at double 16.
Samuel
And
Carr, 52.
it was always going to be tricky, and you can't be giving Stevenson gifts. Reliable on tops.
Game shown the second
There's
leg,
your
Simon
evidence.
Stevenson.
Yeah, he's like a Plymouth version of Robert Thornton.
Third leg nailed it through first. Game on.
His doubling stats from Group A were very impressive. And for someone who throws a traditional set of darts without any bells and whistles,
What have you done?
he bags plenty of maximums. He hits lots of doubles. He can average over 100 as per our numbers this week and do it comfortably.
140.
He's an exceptionally handy old school style player. Just a little grimace there from Neil.
85.
4 perfect darts. Looking to do what Steve West did in Group B, funnily enough, back in Series 4. West hit a 9 against a certain 2-time world champion.
180.
Brilliant from Duff.
You aren't wrong. That opens up an argument. You know how he stands all the way to the left? Those 2 treble 20s were hit from the middle of the bed. And when I say that, middle of the ocky,
140. Neil Carr, 96.
makes you wonder why he doesn't stand there a bit more often.
Well, Simon Stevenson left himself 41 after just 9 darts thrown.
78.
He
Sam
may
McCall,
necessarily not
41.
have been expecting a chance to convert it into a winning leg.
You see the pressure that Neil was under there.
$21.
He does not
Neil Carr,
convert.
18.
Steady Neil. Just steps across.
Game shown the
Brilliantly
third leg,
done.
Neil Duff.
Superb from Duff.
Fourth leg Simon to through first.
Shades of
Game
Elise
on.
at the Allianz last night. That's enough the post. What a great shot from Duff.
We thought the second one was good
100.
enough, but made it seem simple. Just drifting across the hockey in a fluid movement,
55.
picking off the double.
Is it fair to say, Sam, that when you look at what's happened here the last 3.5 years, all the series we've had, all of the great weekly champions we've crowned,
100.
but there are 3 players who want this series title more than anybody on this planet. One is Neil, one is Derek Coulson,
140.
and the other is Steve West. Steve, he was in Simon Stevenson's week. He was in that finals night.
140.
It was he who stopped West joining this. It was a bit part of Ben Robb who did it as well.
42. Sam Carr, 161.
It's those 3 that want the series title more than anybody else.
Stevenson has the potential to stop Duff and Coulson
137.
as well.
I think there's a bit of a race on to see who gets it first, you know. Because I firmly believe whoever gets it first
81. Sam
is the
Carr,
greatest this place
24.
has ever seen.
Game shown the fourth
Stevenson.
leg Sam Stevenson.
13 dart leg of his own, bringing himself level at 2
Fifth leg nailed it
apiece.
through first.
And this
Game
is a
on.
Group B where you cannot really afford back-to-back defeat. So it's a big match coming up next for Jamai Van and Herik.
100.
Losing 4-0 in our opening match to Jack Drayton. Jamai is immediately under pressure.
I actually think him coming back to the hockey quickly is good. And he's getting someone who hasn't played yet. And he hasn't played on this stage for
140.
nearly 3 months. So timing is everything in this sport. Sometimes scheduling can help.
180.
And The player who doesn't win this match will A, feel a little bit aggrieved, and B, would then be under pressure themselves.
100.
Do you know what? I love this place. Because where else would these two meet? Duff has been a WDF player for
140.
years. Stevenson has been a PDC player for years. But now they're both at this level, and Simon has rediscovered
60.
this form.
Neil Ducar, 81.
I'm so grateful we've got this game.
Double 12.
Game shot the fifth leg, nailed up.
It was inevitable. You just knew. And Duff fires in a 12
Six leg
in
Simon
response
to
to
throw first.
Stevenson's
Game on.
13. Both players just under the 100 average. This is a real high-class, high-caliber encounter.
It really
100.
is. And they're both going to be comfortable with this standard. Who for you
100.
is... That's a very 2026 question, Sam, I know, but who is the GOAT at this place currently? There are a lot of people out there who think
140.
it's Andreas Harrison because he's got a series, he's got a specials week, he's got 4 weekly wins. He's got a great collection.
60.
Well, if you say Andreas Harrison, then you have to bring Scott Taylor into that equation as well, because he also has that series title.
Yeah. And Scott Taylor has got more
60.
weeklies. He's got
Exactly.
5.
So he has to enter that equation. Duff, of course, has to as well. He's on 6.
And he's won double trouble.
100.
It's an interesting conversation, but I think it's no longer a conversation if Coulson or Duff win this week.
100.
That puts a lot on tomorrow and on Saturday, doesn't it? You go and win this, you're the GOAT.
And then, of course, there is that little matter of the current world champion who
85.
has his name on the trophy
Simon
twice.
101.
Remember him?
Yeah, but he only won 2 weeklies.
81. Neil Ducar, 156.
Well, this is for the match. Stevenson will be back to take us
55.
to a deciding
Simon
leg,
Carr,
which
20.
this match really does deserve.
Yes,
He's on
that's
the
how you
6
use a
leg, Simon
marker.
Stevenson.
Just push it a little bit to the side. What a cracking match this is.
7th final leg, Neil to throw first. Game on.
We can speculate where these players are going to be in the penultimate game of Group B, because that's when they will play again. But let's revel in this last leg decider. This could go either way.
45.
Duff has put a lot into this match, and kicking off in the deciding leg on throw with a 45 is less than ideal. Stevenson immediately looking to pile on the pressure and pile on the misery for the Duff man to maximum effect.
$85.
It's decent after the 5 start, but my word, Stevenson is so good. He's been waiting for his moment to strike in this game. And it looks like he's doing it right at the end.
$60.
Well, he's had to hang on in there at times as Simon Stevenson is now looking to set this up perfectly for an incredible
130.
last leg.
What's not to like? The heavy scoring, the thought behind the approach shot, and he's going to be going 11 tops.
57.
He could
Simon
even
Carr,
win it
51.
with an 11 darter. All aboard the SS Stevenson.
Change of tact, double 16. He's evaded his tried and trusted
35.
double 20 and maybe proving a little bit costly. However, he will be back for another double 8.
He's been leaving tops all week. Why the change?
58. Simon Carr, 16.
It was a bit of a peculiar decision.
No score.
And we're all left scratching our heads still.
Maybe because in some dart players' minds they have a pre-programmed route for
85.
certain numbers. Maybe on 51 he just likes 19 double
16.
16.
Has to go this time. Chasing doubles.
8.
The
Nearly
double hasn't been caught.
This would be like sticking your hand in the cookie jar and coming out with all of them.
Oh my
91.
word, how close.
Samuel Carr 8.
Stevenson's heart has just skipped a beat. Big pressure moment. He's missed a plethora of darts at double. This match should have been wrapped up. He's only got one more chance. Oh, it's been
Games on the
taken.
match, Simon Stevenson.
My word, that got nervy at the end. Stevenson converts in a last leg shootout at the expense of Neil Duff, but it could have been a whole lot simpler. My word, that got nervy. The change of tact from tops to 16s, you can't say it worked at all, but Stevenson nevertheless gets a huge win early doors in Group B.
process. But it's Van Velzen, it's the Lion who roars, it's Keanu Van Velzen. He follows in his brother's footsteps. He wins the weekly title with a 4-2 win over Tommy Morris. There you now see the reaction.
Our final player to welcome in this Series 13 Champions Week, Keanu Van Velzen, aiming to emulate his brother Marvin, the Series 8 champion, following Marvin's 4-3 win over Jimmy Van Schie in a really memorable final. Keanu Van Velzen, the Week 2 winner, getting the better of Tommy Morris 4-2, facing Jamai van den Herik, who is straight away under pressure. In a group like this, you cannot afford A, to lose too many times, B, to lose big too many times. Jamai on the wrong end of a 4-0 whitewash at the hands of Jack Drayton. So, Henry Deacon.
Yes.
Jamai straight away. Is this must-win territory?
I say this all the time when we're in a Group B scenario. If you play first and third, you have to win at least one of those games, because already you're 0-2 before everybody else has played their second game. So you're constantly finding yourself behind the 8 ball throughout the course of the night. Effectively, if he loses this game, Jamai, he puts himself under pressure, in which he knows he has to win his last 2 games of the evening to stand any kind of chance going into Friday's play. The one thing you do get in Group B is an advantage, the fact you do get a little bit more wiggle room, but you caveat with the fact it's Champions Week. You caveat with the type 53 of talent that's on show. It's a big, big order if he was to lose this one to get back into proceedings. However, as of that dart we saw 93 there from Keanu Van Velzen, we have now seen every single horse in the race for Champions Week 13. We now know who the winner's going to be because we've seen all 12 now.
94.
I mean, we've only seen 6 starts from Van Velzen. It's not a lot of form to judge with.
And I was going to say, based on those 6 starts, he's got
25.
absolutely no chance at all.
Write him off at your peril. He wasn't exactly a form horse in the week he won here. He started off in Group
94.
A and it was a bit underwhelming.
Well, he was one of those quintessential players that struggled in Group A, but then kind of got used to the environment. Got through Group C. It wasn't pretty.
100.
But on Saturday night, he was a different animal. He had the Marvin Army with him on that Saturday night. Marvin Van Velzen, former series champion. Keanu's bro
40.
was in the crowd alongside 1 or 2 of his friends to see him pick up that Week 2 title. Not quite sure whether Marvin's in and around Portsmouth. I mean, he would have been
96.
in the UK this week to have played on the Pro Tour.
I think he'll be here come Saturday night. Should
100.
Keanu be as well?
Jamai car 127.
Jamai, though. First chance at a finish. Good start. The middle's okay.
102.
The ending was almost
Keanu
spectacular.
car 120.
And so for Keanu, climbing the ladder is the primary objective. He's found the treble, but he's gone wayward with the single,
80.
and he's given
Jamai
Van den
car
Herik an opportunity
25.
here on 25. Another chance to break the throw in the opening leg.
Double 8 then to win his
He's on the
first leg of the
Van den
evening.
Herik.
And that will just make him feel a little bit better about
Second leg,
things.
Jamai through first. Game on.
Just get him on the board and make him feel rather settled. Well, first leg play, the first time we've seen Keanu Van Velzen play of his shoelace.
87.
He really needs to go to Velcro in the future, doesn't he?
Yeah, we often see some odd rituals and this,
98.
that and the other from players. But yeah, I think Keanu Van Velzen is the only one that seems to take umbrage with his footwear.
Well, we've seen Michael Van Gerwen in the past pull his socks up when he's in a
100.
spot of bother. But he doesn't do that throw by throw. But the other thing I want to know about something like that is, when does that become a habit?
134.
When do you do that once and think, actually, that's helped me, and then you just continually do it time after time after time? I'm sure there's a perfectly normal answer for that particular question. But it does seem rather bizarre,
40.
doesn't it?
Yeah, he does things his own way, at his own pace. Again, it's not something that is there to disrupt his opponent. It's just part of his own
59.
game. So many players have their little quirks, as you just see Keanu in the background once again, just tinkering with his footwear.
104.
I mean, you've got your own weird quirk. You always ply one into the single one with your first start of a visit.
Didn't stop me beating you.
58.
You
Jamai
asked for
Car
that.
170.
That's because I didn't know what the outer ring was, pal. 170 for Jamai. Another one of them. Unable to get, and so Van Velzen will get to look at the
98.
152.
Keanu Car 152.
Again, unhurried. Looks inviting. Double 16. How
Reach on the
about
second leg,
that?
Keanu
Keanu
Van
Van
Velzen.
Velzen has arrived in Champions Week
Third leg, Keanu
with a
to throw first.
majestic 152 as Van den Herik was ready to pounce.
Game on.
Well, just like that line on the back of his shirt, Keanu Van Velzen will show heart throughout the course of this Champions Week. And we saw on the Saturday, which he qualified through to this particular week.
98.
As the stakes got bigger, he wasn't afraid to let people know how he was feeling. In keeping with his brother Marvin, who wasn't afraid to let out the odd
120.
celebration, the odd yelp here and there. Well, now Keanu looks like he's got stone stuck in that shoe.
Any cobblers in the area?
No, just me and you talking it, mate.
58.
Credit to Van Velzen. That was a big shot at a big moment. He was running the risk of
100.
this match getting away from him. Such was the nature of Jamai's opening match, where it completely got away from him.
95.
So a good response this from Keanu from losing that first leg, being broken by Jamai. Had to survive his scare, of course. But is this the Van den Herik response?
140.
140 leaves himself on a finish after 3 visits against the throw.
$134.
This
Jamai
is
Car
good stuff.
141.
Now, there's pressure on this 141. It's almost as if it needed to go. Van Velzen, you wouldn't put it
79.
past him whatsoever.
Keanu Car 116.
Well, is he a showing for another ton plus finish here, Keanu Van Velzen? In fact, this finish was what won Jamai Van den Herik the week just a few days ago. He could be hit by it here. Double 18 for back-to-back ton plus finishes. Just on the
98.
inside.
Jamai Car
My
62.
word, that was close. Now it's Jamai's turn just to take a moment, just to set himself. This is a big moment. And he
He's
is
on
up
the
to
third
the
leg,
task.
Jamai Van
That
den
was a
Herik.
neat little pop, bang of a finish from Van den
Fourth
Herik.
leg, Jamai to through first. Game on.
17, 15, 14. The darts required to win the opening 3 legs of this contest. And in keeping with what we've seen so far this evening, to
140.
paraphrase one of the words you mentioned, this is tidy.
100.
So all Jamai has to do from here on in is hold his own throat.
60.
And he's back in business, but something tells me it's not going to be quite that simple.
You made it sound that way.
140.
And already Keanu with a 140 there, just tapping Jamai on the shoulder. That first dart is sumptuous. He would have been disappointed if he didn't follow up with at least another there. Leaves himself again on a finish after 9, second consecutive leg. He's done exactly that.
Same scenario here. All three.
140. Jamai
quite.
161.
But it's got him down to a finish.
The 161 isn't going to get got, but because Jamai is playing to this level over the course of the last
64.
couple of legs, he's basically telling Keanu, if you want to win a leg here, pal, you're going to have to get it done in 4 visits. 5 at an absolute max. Because he keeps leaving himself handy after 3-4 visits to the board, leg in, leg out.
Jamai 97.
There's a 2-darter for 3-1.
Going up to 18s.
57.
He's given Van Velzen
64.
another opportunity.
And you feel like he's let an opportunity slip in this leg, Jamai. Had control of it at a point, but Van Velzen for 2-2. 2 in hand, a double 8. Now double 4.
Game show
Manages to find it eventually, and we're back on terms at 2 apiece.
5th leg, Keanu to throw first. Game on.
Again, a touch of the shoe, a pull down of the shirt. It's almost as if nothing really fits him.
What you're saying is it all shrunk in the wash.
60.
Mind you, I know exactly what it's like to have a shirt that once upon a time fitted and now doesn't anymore.
95.
Although mine is more about a more rotund stomach than anything else these days.
100.
From Keanu's break of Jamai's throw. Now, all he has to do is once again just hold his own throw. And he gets his Champions Week off to
97.
a perfect start. And almost takes Jamai out of the equation, despite it still being in its group's infancy.
Big moments in this
100.
game here. Level at 2-2. And Vanden Herik against the throw.
99.
Looking to pile the pressure on. Does find a treble, forcing Keanu here into something tangible. Needs a triple, otherwise Vanden Herik's got 6 for the break.
58.
And 6 for the break he's going to get.
How easy will he make it for himself?
81.
Not very. It does save the visit. It's still a little bit awkward for him. And Van Velzen will be feeling as though he has 6 from 183.
57. Jamai
Because if Vanden Herik hits a treble here, there's a 66% chance that this finish ends on the ball. Treble 20 leaves said bull, unable to get. And for Keanu, he only needs one big trouble himself to leave himself
26.
the little red bit.
Again, going through his pre-throw ritual in these big, big moments of a match. Eyes firmly fixed on the 19s. Has to step across in search of the treble, which he cannot find. And now,
43.
Vanden Herik has a chance
36.
to break throw for the 5th consecutive time in this match. No one wants to hold their own throw.
It's a breakathlon. And the breaking goes on.
Jamai Vanden Herik.
Don't put these two anywhere near a glass factory, will you? Vanden Herik leads 3-2.
6th leg, Jamai to throw first. Game on.
Well, have a look at that. 17, followed by 15, followed by 14, followed by another 15, followed by another 17. And the common trend, they've all come against throw.
120.
Vanden Herik looking to buck that trend and to get his first points on the board at this Champions Week Group B.
It's a strong enough start despite that
140.
dart ending up on the floor. Van Velzen with a real solid response. Vanden Herik needs to back up that strong opening visit, which
59.
he cannot do.
And that's the problem Jamai's got. Because he's got a loopy throw and his darts stand up to attention. First dart drops low. He's got all sorts of problems where he has to really run for cover.
140.
That 140 there for Keanu gives us a possibility of a 6th consecutive break in this game.
With no other player in the
57.
world would I be asking this. But is Keanu not wearing any socks?
Let's see how good our camera people are.
60.
Some people pay good money for this.
It would sort of explain a lot as to why he is often tinkering with his footwear.
95.
Jamai does
Coward and 61.
what he can. Sort of the minimum requirement from that visit. Leaves the big fish should this 161 not go.
I never thought I'd say this on live broadcast. They are not socks. However, Jamai's not going to put a sock in this game. If he finds the big fish, he wins it 4-2. They're going to put the boot in.
130. Jamai Coward and 70.
Well, now is the opportune moment to do so. Van Velzen awaits. That looks really, really nice. Reel it in, Jamai Vanden Herik. What a way to win your first match of Champions Week. Bouncing back from a 4-0 defeat to defeat Keanu Van Velzen with a 170. We've been waiting for one all week, and now we have got it. It's a win for Vanden Herik. The big matches and the big moments keep on rolling in this Champions Week as Jamai van den Herik reels it in. A 170 to defeat Keanu van Velzen to get Jamai's campaign up and running at the second attempt. The man who defeated Jamai in our opening match of this evening is back on stage now. Jack Drayton now faces Neil Duff, who played some majestic stuff up until that last leg decider, which he came on the wrong end of against Simon Stevenson. Neil Duff looking to recover at the earliest opportunity. Back to the commentary box we go in the company of Paul Nicholson and Henry Deacon.
Thank you, Samuel. And so, game 4 of the night, a meeting between Jack Drayton and Neil Duff. Two players that have had success on the WDF circuit in 2026. We've mentioned Jack Drayton's success at the Isle of Man Open tournament, which gave him an invitation to the Lakeside come the end of the season. As for Neil Duff, well, he picked up the Bucharest Open in January, got the better of Harry Lane by 5 legs to 2 in the final. He also won the Northern Ireland Open a couple of weeks ago, where he got the better Neil Withers by 5 legs to 3. So twice a winner on that circuit this season. And I'm sure he will head to the Lakeside once again come the end of the year as one of the main protagonists to pick up a second title. In fact, there is a possibility in another world, Paul Nicholson, where this could be the Lakeside final come December.
Anything's possible, I guess.
43.
But it's been a very good start of the season for both. But they could even be in a final in 72 hours' time.
100.
Pretty much to the minute. The final on Saturday night will be around 11 o'clock. And that's their sole aim this week.
60.
And the winner this week will definitely have momentum going into the spring. Whatever they decide to do, because there are so many different avenues these days.
And as you know, the winner of this will qualify for the ADC Global Championship come the end of the year. And because of the slight earlier running of the tournament, for someone like Jack Drayton, who's guaranteed to be at the Lakeside, Neil Duff is probably going to qualify for it. They can play both, providing they don't qualify for the PDC World Championship. Now, we know that's not going to happen in Neil's case. He's not treading down that path. But Jack Drayton could legitimately qualify for Ali Pali because of what he's doing on the Dev Tour right now.
The element of choice. Another biggie? Not quite. We've had the 152 from Keanu and the 170 finish from Jamai. Duff's got to be careful here. He did have one dart to beat Simon Stevenson. He missed tops. This is the dart we were talking about earlier. It's tricky for him to hit.
3. Neil Lucar 96.
He's had 3 chances to win this opening leg on throw. Duff to really rub his nose in it. Isn't going to get a look at double 8, and so Drayton's going to get 3 more at that target.
Jack Lucar 16.
This does get awkward because if he misses outside, his dart will lean to the right. He's better off on double 4. That's why, because he can't bounce it in. On double 8, he can't.
And he'll know all about that. Go back to what we were mentioning when we were commentating on his first game against Jamai van den Herik. Because of his background, because he's involved in golf, that's what he's doing as a university course. He'll know things like that. He'll know little intricacies, how he can bump things off and things like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Golf is all about utilizing shapes, seeing where the best miss is on difficult holes. If you're typically sending the ball from left to right, you want to try and use that as much as you can. But considering he's a scratch golfer, he can probably send it both ways. Which, by the way, is some achievement. I've got a friend who's a scratch golfer, and it's absolutely insane the ability they've got to have to do that. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's commitment. He is a scratch golfer. He is a very good dart player, and he's been absolutely battered by brilliant Duff in this leg. Now, this is the number that Simon Stevenson
96,
left
Neil Lucar,
after 9
41.
against Neil in his first game. And he's missed a single after leaving 41 after 9. How many times do you see that? Just about. Double 8. Oh, no.
No score.
Well, on the bright side, he can go back to a primary double, but only after burning a shot.
It wasn't great, but it's not a disaster in equal measure. However, he knows that Jack Drayton is going... What an... Okay. Okay.
115.
Oh, my
Neil
word.
Lucar, 41.
If he'd hit that 45, I would have remembered that forever. But it's another missed single.
Well, he's left 29, which is the least checked out combination here of the Super Series. Double 10. Gets there in the end and it
31.
moves on the inside.
Jack
And
Lucar,
Drayton,
70.
he's got a real tangible chance here to break the phone lead 2-0. Yet to drop a leg so far tonight, by the way.
Does that continue?
50. Neil
Duff
Lucar,
is back
10.
for the double that got him into the Champions Week.
He loves that part of the board. It's one of some big titles. The top's one in the Lakeside, the double 5, one in the week. About a month or so ago,
score.
but it's not going to come
Jack
to his
Lucar,
aid on this
20.
occasion. He's had 5 opportunities here, Neil Duff, and that's been his problem tonight. Missing key opportunities. Missed 11 at a double against Simon Stevenson. Paid the price. Has missed 5 darts at a double here. But he hasn't paid the price as of yet because Jack Drayton himself is fallible on the outer ring.
What a
Neil
weird
Lucar,
leg this
10.
has been. By far the weirdest of the night. And it is a leg that is won by Duff. It could have been 11. It turns out to be 19.
Third leg Jackson through first. Game on.
20 actually. Look at him. He's not happy with winning that leg the way it was.
Put me in the mind of Neil Duff a little bit, Nico, because you've been
100.
there at the top level and you've played in the biggest tournaments that this sport has to offer. For Neil Duff, this is the only thing that he could play at the Super Series that he
140.
hasn't ticked off the list yet, a Champions Week. Are we getting to a point where sometimes we can maybe say that Neil wants it a little bit too much?
Absolutely.
45.
Let's face it, when you come into a certain part of your career, you've done great things like Neil has, but there are things missing. Mentally, you target them.
140.
If you get into another Champions Week like this, if you get into another World Championship and you are yet to gain that title, the way you think about it,
134.
it has to be relaxed. If it's not, you're putting yourself under too much pressure. There's too much tension when you throw. There's no elasticity mentally and
140.
physically. If he doesn't have that this week, I don't think Neil's going to win the title. But if he can be a bit laissez-faire about it, I think he's got more of a chance.
134. Neil Lucar,
There's one thing you know
81.
about Neil. He's one of the most headstrong players we have here at the Super Series.
There's nothing wrong with his scoring. Consecutive legs left 41 and 81.
56. Jack Lucar,
But he might be
88.
behind. It's the end product that has let him down on the hole here tonight.
18 and bull. Bull it is.
63.
Oh, that was
Neil Lucar,
thrown
25.
perfectly, pitched almost perfectly, just a bit too high.
Glorious in
Game
the
shot on
end,
the
but
third
it
leg,
is there,
Neil.
Neil. You can smile. You're 2-1 up. For just a second, he thought
Fourth
that
leg,
might
Neil,
have
to
been in
throw
double
first.
11.
That was like a Dominic Szoboszlai
Game on.
free kick into the top corner. And Duff 2-1-2 the good. By the way, don't talk to Jack Drayton about Liverpool. He's a big LFC fan and they've not had the best of weeks this week.
135.
Who does Neil
140.
support?
Big Rangers fan. Big
Of course,
fan.
yeah. Yeah, they're in a bit of a dogfight in the Scottish Premier League.
Yep, them Hearts and
100.
Celtic all jousting it out for the Scottish Premiership title. Hearts looking to undo, I think it's a 42-year vice-like grip from the two old firm clubs. So Alex Ferguson and Aberdeen back in the mid-80s. I think it was 84 or something like
95.
that.
Yeah, back when Aberdeen won, it was at the Cup Winners' Cup, I think it was.
The only team to beat Real Madrid in the European final.
Yeah, the great Willie Miller. What a player.
58.
One of the greatest moustaches in sport, Willie Miller.
Not as good as Ronnie Sharp.
Fair point.
Challenge impossible to top that.
92.
Merv Hughes tried, but failed. Victor Chiroa in darts tried, but ultimately failed.
140.
Well, that is a nice approach from Neil. I think his scoring in this game has been really impressive. He's averaging 87.5, but it feels like it should be about 10 to 15 points more than that.
100. Near the car, 68.
And that is mainly down to a bit of faffage on the outer ring as he looks at double four for 3-1 lead.
Gage
14
on the
dart.
fourth
Now
leg,
that is
Miller.
much more like it.
I tell you what, if he brushes up on his doubles, the
Fifth
game's
leg
there.
Jack to throw first. Game on.
If you look at the numbers from the first 3 games, take away Jamai van den Heerik's 81 average in his first match, the next 5 recorded averages are all over 90. That's a very good standard.
140.
6 180s in there. This is good stuff.
Go back to that Neil Duff mentality, perhaps going into this Champions Week. I
100.
suppose for you, the example I can think of is probably the World Cup post 2012. When you went into subsequent tournaments after that, are you thinking as much about what happened in
100.
the past as much as what actually you could do in the future?
Well, you make an excellent point, Henry, because I was interviewed on the stage post-defeat, and I said, Australia are
100.
going to win this. In my own mind, that was me and Simon. Turns out, it wasn't me and Simon. It was Damon and Simon, and they would ultimately win it 10 years
131.
later. But at that point, I was so adamant that we were going to win it together because I wanted to win it for him so much. In subsequent years,
81.
I tried
Jack
too
car,
hard,
130.
and I was too intense, and it didn't work for the team.
You weren't intense in that game against Belgium, I'll give you that. You were nice, calm, placid.
54.
The sarcasm is not lost on me, Deacon. This game could have more legs. We have already seen a big shot
60.
to win a match
Jack the car, 76.
by Van den Herik. If Drayton closes this out, we're not going to get another one just yet.
Tops it is.
Gage on the
Top's
fifth
got
leg, Jack
back to
Drayton.
3-2. And the minimum he could have done from that scenario, Jack Drayton,
Sixth
was
leg Neil
force
through
Neil
first.
Duff to serve
Game
it
on.
out. And he's got the honour here to get the job done and to get his first points on the board. And it would actually mean there's a scenario. If Neil Duff wins
58.
this game and Keanu van Velzen wins the next against Simon Stevenson, all 5 players are going to be tied on 2 points and the midway point of the night.
Nothing wrong with that. We like a bit of carnage
140.
in the table. Long may it continue. I remember when Drayton was winning back-to-back development tour
100.
events recently. Spoke to a few of my sources within the industry asking about him because I didn't know much about him at all. They all came up with the same thing.
134.
And it's that very short statement that you get from people, but it's the way they say it. All they said was, he's good.
140.
It's the way they say it. This week, and based on the week he's won, you can't disagree with it. He
100.
is good.
Every single person prior to his debut week that spoke about Jack Drayton was speaking glowingly. And that included some people that are some very hard taskmasters to please.
This is why we like the first series of the year, because you get the hot property from the Dev
81.
Tour, the
Got
hot
the
property
car,
from the Challenge Tour, people like
127.
Joe Hunt, people like Jack Drayton. And in this series, the timing was perfect. We got them at just the right time.
55.
And
Neil the
this
car,
would be just the
122.
right time for Neil to strike. It's not going to happen.
And so this, to take us all the
45.
way to a last leg
Jack the car,
decider,
72.
may just be one dart. It is only going to be one dart, providing he stays straight. Does exactly that. Double top. Last dart in hand.
32.
Doesn't go. And Neil
New
Duff
car,
face of a similar
77.
proposition here, but is to win it.
Tops.
Game
Just
show
what he
mark,
required. Right on time. And like Henry mentioned, we could have everybody on 2 points at the halfway point of the first night here in Group B. Good bounce back from the Duff man after losing 4-3 to Stevenson. He bounces back with a 4-2 victory over Jack Drayton. Week 2 saw the return of Rob Grundy after 2 years on the Pro Tour, a big-name debutant in Jose Justicia, and the informed speedster Tommy Morris, who stamped his authority on the week, winning every game on Monday and Wednesday to top Group A in style. In Group C, a familiar name in Van Velzen took to the hockey. Brother of Series 8 champion Marvin, Keanu Van Velzen went perfect on Thursday in his passage to finals night. Also qualifying from Group C was Richard McKee, the Northern Irish star who has had success in the live lounge. Rob Grundy kept up his good form, impressing to top Group B. along with Flash Mark Dudbridge, who reached his 7th Saturday campaign. Third place in Group B went down to a straight shootout, and it was Dave Wazowski who got the better of Jose Justicia to complete the Saturday night lineup. Tommy Morris was rampant in his route to the final, winning both of his group stage matches before taking out Rob Grundy in the semi-final. Meanwhile, Keanu van Velzen was the surprise package of the night, with 2 last leg deciders en route to the semi-final, where he whitewashed Mark Dudbridge. And it was the Dutchman who followed in the footsteps of his brother, picking up the weekly title and booking his spot in Champions Week.
That is how Keanu van Velzen made his way to Champions Week. Keanu looking to emulate his older brother Marvin. And he now has a bit of a tall order to do so, early doors at least. There is time to recover. Well, that time can quickly dissipate. Such is the nature of a Group B of this ilk, this quality. Simon Stevenson has the chance himself to be the first player to move on to 4 points. Something tells me, Henners, that there's going to be plenty more twists and turns in this group.
Well, so far tonight, every single game has gone against the throw, but Simon Stevenson perhaps was the player that, of the 4 players that are able to win against the darts so far this evening, was the one that was in the most peril. Neil Duff did have opportunities to dispatch of, and perhaps at times had to ride his luck, did the Mirror Man, but up to a perfect start, and as you say, can move on to 4 points. So when you consider everybody now,
100.
apart from Keanu van Velzen's on 2 points, having a gap in terms of points double the size, even at this early stage of proceedings, could be pivotal, because it just means for Simon, he's got an opportunity to just kick on for the remainder of the night, build up a decent points total. It just means his job on Friday is that little bit easier for him.
A la Derek Coulson in Group A, a la Steve Green in Group C.
It's like playing test match cricket. You win the toss, you go out to bat, you build a decent total, you hope not to bat again because you've done enough of a job. Only problem is, if you watch England play test match cricket, we'll probably bowl first. They'll put in a decent total of about 450. We'll get skittled for 150. It'll all be done in 2 days. For our American viewers, if you're wondering what cricket is, it's like baseball, but it takes longer.
121.
Van Velzen finally gets going, but it could well be a bit too late. Stevenson, a bit of an aura about him in that
81.
He's growing into this week and he is becoming relentless. And that's ominous for the competition.
65. Simon Carr, 40.
And it's all come in the last 6 months, hasn't it, this return to form for Simon Stevenson. Everybody knows how good a player he is. People have been around the sport for long enough to know he's capable of doing things like that, hitting 13 darters to hold throw and making opposition look rather feeble as a response. But something's twigged, something's clicked. And maybe it's a case of going back to basics. He plays a lot of club darts again, doing bits and bobs in and around the vaults. It sparked a fire and it sparked a real return to form for him.
We said earlier this week that this Champions Week has really come at a good time for the likes of Derek Coulson and Nathan Potter, given their recent successes on the Challenge Tour. It's come at a good time for Jamai van den Herik as well, given that he won here just last week. It seems as though it's coming at a great time as well for Simon Stevenson. And Keanu van Velzen, if he doesn't buck his ideas up, well be on the receiving end for the second consecutive time. That's not a good position to be in. No,
because in a group like this, if somebody's just off the pace, they will be regarded to as the whipping boy.
140.
And you don't necessarily have to play poorly to be regarded to as that. Such is the standard in and around you in that particular practice room. However, a Champions League group is a little bit like a shark tank. A bit of blood gets let out into the slipstream. Everybody sniffs on it.
I
100.
think
Time to
we
count
knew what you meant.
121.
It's been a long day.
Stevenson drifts into the treble 5 at the wrong time again.
81.
Is able to tidy it up a treat.
Well, Simon Stevenson sniffs an opportunity here to open up a 2-0 lead. However, Keanu
136.
Van Velzen with that
40.
1-3-6 setup has also left himself on tops. This for the break.
2 10s. Decent enough guide. Utilises it
Game's on the same
to
leg, Simon
perfection.
Stevenson.
Much like we did on the last day of Group A. Now we're just seeing
Herik
those
Simon is
little
reversed.
celebrations from Simon Stevenson. He fancies this.
And for somebody who, with the greatest of respect, Simon, is heading towards the tail end of his darting career. This will still be the
140.
biggest thing he's ever gone on to achieve. Let's get that 100% correct.
I respectfully disagree. Who says this is his tail end of his career when he's averaging numbers like that? Derek Coulson's 57. You wouldn't say he's in the
57.
tail end of his career. He's in his prime. Could Stevenson be in his prime?
$100.
Well, Peter Wright did win a world championship in his 50s.
Johnny Clayton as well.
Well, mine ends well all 3 of his world championships in his 50s.
This sport does not age discriminate.
Just ask a certain Paul Lim who got to the final of the Lakeside at the age of 70.
140.
Not 17, 70. 70.
$44.
Now this is
Time to count
exceptional
121.
from Stevenson. He's not allowed Van Velzen in this match at all. Just contemplating his options. Need to entertain a
81.
shot at the ball.
Tots after 12, and he's doing this on a regular basis. Left himself on a finish after hiding every leg in this match. And he's looking to go 3-0 up in next to no time at all.
99.
Keanu Van Velzen
40.
isn't playing poorly. Just hasn't been able to come up with any answers in response to this
Game's on the
barrage
third
of
leg,
brilliance
Simon
from Simon Stevenson. 13 darts are average just underneath the 110
leg,
mark. Have a
Keanu
look at
to throw
that.
first. Game
13,
on.
15, 13. World class.
Threatening the performance of the week so far. Graham Hall having a 110
60.
earlier this week. Stevenson could well eclipse that.
$125.
I felt like it's going to be one of those nights where we were going to see a monster performance somewhere. And Simon Stevenson
60.
is 3/4 of the way from delivering exactly that.
$60.
All Van Velzen has been able to do is watch on. He knows this is a big moment. That's why he's just elected to reset. Just find an avenue, a foothold even, in this match.
Well, the Mirror Man's causing Keanu Van Velzen to
140.
reflect a little bit, isn't he?
$100. $59.
Chasing travels, one can't be caught, and the strong visit Van Velzen provided in his previous visit once again can't be backed up, and the expression from
140.
Keanu in the background tells you all you need to know. An absolute barrage from Stevenson.
Well, Keanu Van Velzen's
64.
played nothing more than a pacemaker
Simon
for
Keanu,
Simon
76.
Stevenson in this game. For 4-0 win, performance of the night, and one of the performances
Game
of Champions
shot
Week
of the match, Simon
13. A 14 darter wrapped it up for Simon Stevenson, an average of 109.31. He demolishes Keanu Van Velzen to 0 in next to no time at all. At the tail of the tape, an average of 109.31, 4 from 6 on his doubles. Keanu not even given a chance at the outer ring in that game. Simon Stevenson, the first player to move on to 4 points in this Group B. Coming up next, Jamai Herik takes on Neil Duff.
Match is coming thick and fast as promised in Group B, and we're already quarter of the way through. Halfway through night one, and Simon Stevenson is really threatening to steal the show. 4-0 with an average of over 109 against Keanu van Velzen, who I don't think really quite knew what just hit him. Everyone else, other than Keanu, has picked up a win for good measure in a quite condensed Group B, but it is Stevenson that is sitting atop. 2 wins out of 2, and not just that, Nico, 2 impressive wins out of 2.
Very much so. Even with his 4-3 victory against the 3rd place Neil Duff, 90.75, 2 maximums. 4 out of 18 on the doubles tells the story, because he could have had the job done a lot sooner. He could have even lost that game. But now that he has survived that scare, he has run into the next game and dispatched Van Velzen. So we go into the second half to see how people will react to what they've just done. And in the case of Jamai Herik, The last 3 darts he threw on the stage in a game, they were rather good.
Weren't they just? One of these two will join Stevenson on 4 points.
First leg, Jamai to throw first.
I have to say,
Game on.
given the quantity of times Neil Duff has been here in the past, so far tonight, I don't think I have ever seen him score so well.
I think that's a fair statement. Take away some of his doubling, because it's been a bit shoddy at times. His scoring's been extremely straight and very well weighted, leaving small
60.
numbers after 9. That is the key to getting chances, and that is something he's had tonight. He's had plenty of darts at double. 26 darts at double, in fact. That's a lot for
93.
2 games.
Yeah, 7 from those 26, and normally it's sort of the other way around. Normally when you give Duff a chance, that's it. Game over. Duff,
140.
his power scoring has been incredible. And he'd probably tell you that himself, in that he knows he's not the biggest power scorer in the world. He knows his strengths.
64.
And those little combination 2-3 dart combination finishes is where he is so strong, sort of between 61 and 119.
140. Jamaica 164.
He's going to finish after 9 again, but he might not even get a look at it. Now he will.
89.
That's a nice bullseye. Makes the next shot a little easier if he gets a look himself, which he might not. Let's have a look.
136.
That was seriously on
75.
target until the last millisecond.
It's just making Van den Herik think. Single 18. Top of the shot.
Game shot on the first
Can't
leg.
argue with that.
Herik.
Jamai has held his nerve there against
leg
the
Neil
ever
to throw
wily
first.
Neil
Game on.
Duff. Well, he's starting to nod now. There's been a upturn in the body language of Jamai, who started this evening very slowly indeed.
40.
But I suppose a 170 to win a match will do that.
Yeah. I heard a phrase a few years ago. It has always stuck with me. That first leg was a
60.
sorting the men from the boys leg. Because if you can't play this game to the top level, you don't get involved in games like that, in legs like that.
100.
One person has to take out a 12, the other one takes out a key 15. That's a proper leg. And this is a proper player.
140.
When he is in full flow, Jamai Van den Herik, there's not many that are as watchable.
60.
The appearance of certain dart players, they give off a very different vibe, don't they? You look at someone like Jack Drayton and you think, yeah, he's got a game face. You can see him winning darts matches in a mean mood.
137.
You look at Van den Herik, you can imagine a Christmas picture of him and his gym jams getting some Lego for Christmas. Not a demon dart player against one of the former Lakeside champions.
125.
But he is.
Jamaica 164.
Well, time afforded, which he will
64.
utilise, rounding off his score.
Second time he's left 164 and used the bull as cover on dart 3. It worked last time, and if it works again, Duff is going to feel aggrieved.
Well, Duff has done all he can from there. Set it up perfectly, Van den Herik. Again, holds his nerve. This Group B is top
Third leg,
class.
Jamai to throw first. Game on.
He likes a 15 darter, doesn't he? If he's on target for another one, Duff is going to need a 12 to stop it from being 3-0. Neil is averaging 104 and a bit, and he's a 1 darter double. It's almost a scoring average.
100.
Because the timing of Van den Herik has been, I hate to use this pun because Neil lives in Switzerland, but it's almost Swiss quartz.
140.
Jamai's been here plenty enough times as well. He knows all about Neil Duff, and you cannot give him an inch.
140.
Because that's when he can, and often does, find a way.
$140.
I think Neil has strayed away from the 20 bed once in this game. It is remarkably straight.
Jamaica 138.
This would be just plain rude if this goes out. Neil will get his chance.
76.
And you sense he's going to have to
Neil
take it
Car,
out.
81.
He knows it as well. Double 12.
57.
How did that not go in?
Seriously,
Jamai
I think if he throws a
62.
slightly bulkier dart, that does go in. But those tapered versions, you can find those tight gaps more likely. And this time, it's cost him.
He shakes his head. He can't believe it.
He's
We
on the
couldn't
third leg.
believe it.
Jamai van den
But
Herik.
Jamai can't. Van den Herik is 3-0 up.
Fourth leg Neil to throw first. Game on.
I honestly don't think Neil has thrown a bad dart in this game. Even when he's missed at the bull, it was a tiny portion away.
60.
The double 12, no comment.
These numbers are getting silly.
134.
If you're not enjoying this and you don't like darts, it's as simple as that. You have to admire the way that this game is being played. If Neil is straight away from the 20 for the second time in the game,
There's almost a possibility Neil Duff could put in the highest average of the week so far and lose 4-0.
97.
This is defying all logic.
100.
You have to admire the quality and the time and go, oh, Van den Herik.
that's exactly what it is. I think the right word to describe this from Jamai is classy.
45.
The moment I say it, he hits a small 5. But if Neil does suffer defeat in this game, I really do fear for Keanu van Velzen in his last
45.
one, because he's going to get the wrath. As in full-blown Neil Duff angry wrath.
$45.
Well, both have just lifted their foot off the gas.
95.
I'm not really sure that that was a smart play. Because 175, he should be looking for a 135, and you don't get that down there.
85. Near the car, 80.
Well, it was effective enough. You can stay straight. Nice safe one for tops.
40.
Luckless.
Jamaica 95.
These are well thrown darts at double.
They say in sport that if it is a defeat that's going to come your way, somebody might be cutting onions. What Duff's been doing is cutting wires down to size. But at least he's coming back.
40. Near
We
the
have
car,
not said that
40.
in this game.
Getting shown
Yeah,
the
he's
fourth leg,
deserved
Neil
that.
Duff.
Okay, it was a 19 dart leg,
Fifth leg Jamai through first.
but it's a
Game on.
start. And Duff still averaging around about 100. Finally gets away into this match.
Do you think on any level, Sam,
140.
that Duff will maybe put the darts down someday? When he's older and greyer and doesn't fancy it anymore.
70.
Will he ever regret not giving the PDC a go? Because some people who have won at Lakeside have given it a crack for a very short time.
96.
And there are others that didn't and then said, I missed my window. And I am quoting someone
100.
His name is Daryl Fitton. He said that publicly. I missed my window.
I have a theory about this. So my answer to your question is no, I don't think you will
95.
regret it. However, what I think there is a little irk. In the old days of BDO and whatnot, I'd have loved to have seen Neil Duff in a Grand Slam.
85. Jamai car 170.
Oh, yeah, I 100% agree with that. Not again. If he'd have hit that,
134.
we would have remembered this night forever.
Duff again doing all he
140.
can. And
Jamai car 36.
now Jamai van den Herik eyeing a potential 13 dart leg to get another
Clean showing
win.
marks to
Clean
Jamai van den
as a
Herik.
whistle. Again, it is so impressive. You would not have thought he lost the opening match of the night 4-0 to Jack Drayton. Since then, Van den Herik goes 4-2 and 4-1, a 98 average over Neil Duff, whose power scoring tonight has been exceptional.
And it's double Dutch delight. They have beaten Wales, and it's another trip.
It's the Netherlands!
If you put £1 on Scotland, you will lose £1. Double 18. And Scotland have pulled off.
Team Scotland.
Giving Andreas Harrison's beard a stroke.
Game shot.
But it is
and the
victory for
match.
Kenya.
Team Kenya.
Game shot on the second leg,
And
England.
get the leg, he does.
It's double 10.
Game shot on the fifth leg, Canada.
Oh, he's miscalculated. Well, that is absolutely incredible.
Just having a conversation. You can understand. It's you're playing for your country.
They were staring semi-final defeat in the face,
Game shot on the
but
last
never
leg.
to be written off. But Keanu is the hero, and the Irish Dream Team reign supreme. Your champions are the Republic of Ireland.
One of the highlights of the year here at the Modus Super Series gets underway on Monday, the third renewal of international pairs. We can take a look at this Group A lineup. The defending champions, Team Ireland, John O'Shea and Conor Heenahan, defending their title, but the competition is stiff. Wales, 2 times runners-up, Kurt Parry and Richie Burnett, back for more, along with the likes of Northern Ireland, including Neil Duff here this week as well. Group C is equally as tantalising. Team Germany seems to be the pundits' pick. And how about Group B? Team England, and what a team it is. Steve Beaton alongside Fallon Sherrock. Do not miss that one. And you've missed a trick if you've missed Group B so far this evening. It has been simply incredible. Simon Stevenson alone has been incredible. But Jack Drayton has the chance to join Stevenson on 4 points, along with Jamai van den Herik as well. It's Stevenson, it's Drayton, and in the commentary box, it's Nicholson and it's Deacon.
Thank you, Mulliner. And so we head into the final forays of our Thursday night darts here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And based on the way these two have played at points tonight, this could well be the game of the evening. And for Simon Stevenson, it's a case of follow up, sir, because he put in the second best performance we've seen so far this week. Average of 109.31 in a 4-0 dismantling of Keanu van Velzen in his previous game.
Let's take
4 from
Jack
6
to
on his
throw
doubles. And he
first.
left himself on top,
Come
Snicko,
on.
after 12 darts in each of the opening 3 legs of that particular contest. If he plays anything like that, then Jack Drayton is going to have to find something godly to beat him. However, this is some start.
140.
Can we put that into some sort of perspective?
Yes.
Tops after 12,
140.
and here he goes again, by the way, is averaging 115.25 for 12 darts.
180.
That is exceptional. That is beyond world class. But the possibilities at the start of this one,
100.
it's like Homer Simpson looking at a donut. Because if these two turn up, this could be the game of the week.
Well, to put it into context, over the course of the last 12 months, the highest
64.
first 9 average of anybody on tour is Luke Little as shock horror. And that's only 111.15. I'd say only. But that's some kind of barometer as to how Simon Stevenson
100.
is
Jalica,
scoring.
170.
But he didn't win in Rotterdam tonight, did he? Because the Ferret did again. That'll work.
75. Sorry, 77. Jalica, 161.
It'll work. If this doesn't go, well, if that had gone, it would have been everybody in this
97.
place saying,
Jalica, 40.
where's this guy been? Oh, look, tops after 12.
Feels like the par for the course.
Game shot on the first leg, Jack
Well, we don't
Drayton.
usually see too much by way of vocal reaction, but we saw, well, we heard, shall I say, a bit of a G up from Jack there as he goes 1-0 to the goods.
You're trying to say that first leg was a par 5? 5 visits? I'm not saying that 15 darts is level par.
60.
If it is, this is one tough course.
Well, as long as nobody has the type of luck that goes. Was it Lee who basically shanked one into the bushes?
100.
House on Lee. He had a shocker on the 13th last Sunday afternoon when he was playing with Scotty Scheffler. He didn't need a wedge. He needed a machete to get out of the woods.
60. $85.
I learned a bit more about Jack this week. Had a tiny chat with him. Asked him where he is green kipping and learning his trade.
140.
He's at Fleetwood Golf Club up on the northwest coast. Gets fairly breezy off the Irish Sea right there. Nice local course. Got some age about it.
140.
The greatest courses have taken decades to settle. Fleetwood's a nice place.
100.
Golf courses up there, the clubhouses have got a great deal of character from a certain period between around about 1875 and 1915.
100. Simon Carr, 141.
Well, Stevenson got by way over a pass. Can I find the 141? That scoring power just a little bit off in comparison to his previous game. It's going to be very hard to replicate.
47.
But it's been off enough to give
Carr,
Drayton
76.
opportunities. And he's looking at 76 here to go 2-0 to the good. Thus, getting the break of throw. Doesn't need one to win this game, but it would give him a cushion.
36. Simon Carr, 94.
His previous game was a hard act to follow, but Stevenson could use this. Well, that'll work. Big four. Big tops.
74.
Could have been a big shot.
Simon Carr, 40.
He wasn't expecting to miss tops. He may have just left a sighter for Drayton.
Well, Drayton survived his scare in this leg. However, he's needing opportunities to get the job done, isn't he?
Leg, Jack Drayton.
Second visit to the board to wrap the leg up. Eventually gets it last start on double five.
Third leg,
It's
Jack
not
to
been
go first.
convincing, but it's
Game
been
on.
good enough. I say it's not been convincing. He's still averaging 91 and change. But he's making a low 90s average, Nick. I've got to say, look very poor, which is probably the biggest compliment we can pay the kid.
180.
I think his average has just gone up a bit. Second 180. And it jumps by 7 points. And the intensity we're seeing from Drayton tonight, that's what his
100.
game is all about. It's muted intensity. You look at other players in World Darts, they flail, they celebrate. You can almost
57.
hear them before you see them. He's not like that. It's all about the scowl. We say he looks like Roy Kent from Ted Lasso, and he doesn't even grunt.
140.
This is really good from Drayton. We've been laying the rose petals out in the red carpet for Simon Stevenson tonight because he's played that well. But at the minute,
81.
he's being
Jack Carr,
flattened.
124.
Doesn't have to trace a treble 18 and the ball if he didn't want to. Finish up on the
63.
bullseye. And I'll leave himself on 61 when he comes back. What Stevenson would give for 140 to leave himself on a trademark tops after 12. Not going to happen.
He needs a mistake from Drayton.
135.
And there haven't been many.
Jack Carr, 61.
The one saving grace he's got is it's taken Jack Drayton a few opportunities to get legs one.
51.
In that case,
Simon Carr, 45.
being found in point again there.
There's your mistake. And here's your opportunity. But he
25.
can't take these.
Jack Carr, 10.
And Drayton's got to feel that a 3-0 lead is inevitable.
Getting shot on the third leg,
Well,
Jack
there
Drayton.
felt as if there was an air of inevitability about that double five going. There was.
Fourth leg, Simon
Drayton
is the
3-0
first.
up.
Game on.
Looking rather comfortable. And the worrying thing is, he's got gears to go. Scary, right?
60.
What I'm about to say is going to sound so harsh, but I mean this in the nicest possible way. If he can learn to group those points together a little tighter,
100.
a bit like Josh Rock, this is something he learned. If Drayton goes the same way, there is no telling how high he can go in this
100.
sport. Because I don't believe that he's found his full capabilities in the scoring department yet.
140.
He needs to learn how to do that a bit more. Because the way his darts fly, they are so pure already. But there's definitely another gear.
100.
And the other thing is, because he's been fast-tracked as he has, he's won a lot of things recently. He's still only 19 years of age and still very new to this level. He's just at the infancy. And that's a scary thing when he's throwing things like that.
Simon Stevenson
100.
is the favourite to win this
81.
group. He would have been the favourite to win this game. He isn't now.
Well, Simon Stevenson parred in 109 in his previous
69.
game. He was almost
Simon
beaten
Cowell,
by a performance in and
141.
around the ton mark there. Drayton missing 3 darts at a double. He's averaging 98 and change, despite the fact he's missed 9 darts at double. He's comprehensively
105.
outpowered his opponent in the
Jack
scoring
12.
stakes. And now an opportunity to see it off.
One left for 4-0.
9. Simon
Had to
O'Connor,
be aggressive with
36.
that last one. He gave it a really good look. But should he have been on double 3? In his own mind, no. Double 9, nobody's favourite.
27. Jack O'Connor, 3.
Well, that felt like a reprieve for Stevenson he was unable to take, and this should be curtains. However, because his darts stand up to attention, there is an air of jeopardy about this double 1.
Game
Jeopardy?
shoulder match, Jack
What
Drayton.
jeopardy? Simon Stevenson beaten for the first time in this Group B. We knew he'd have to take some good performance to do so, and that was exactly what Jack Drayton provided. In the end, the average dovetails down to the 91 mark, mainly because of the missed darts at double in that contest, but the scoring was dreamy at times from Drayton. He wins by 4 legs to 0, and he now moves to the top of the Group B table. Coming up next, Neil Duff takes on Keanu van Velzen.
16 world titles, 4 decades of dominance, the greatest the sport of darts has ever seen. Phil Taylor, the power, a legend. A walk down memory lane. The rivals, the battles, the moments that defined an era. And now, for the first time, watch Phil, watch himself, his greatest moments on screen with the legend alongside them giving his own commentary as it happens. We've never done this before. Saturday the 25th of April at the Modus Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Tickets just £10. The power through the years. Don't miss it.
You heard it. Do not miss it. What value? Just £10 for tickets. Saturday the 25th of April. Come on down to the Live Lounge in Portsmouth for a walk down memory lane with Phil the Power Taylor. Back to business on this Champions Week. And just when you think you have this Group B sussed, top of the table, Simon Stevenson, or at least he was going into the most recent match, is on the wrong end of a 4-0 defeat. Jack Drayton accelerating himself to the top of Group B. Neil Duff has been scoring, arguably the best power scoring we've ever seen from the Duff man in this building. Keanu van Velzen has been on the receiving end of some majestic performances. And he is in danger of feeling the frustration from Duff. He will be feeling as though he has deserved more than just his solitary 2 points at the moment.
And for Neil Duff, his night comes to a close right here, right now. First of all, hi Sam. Hello again. For Keanu, he's halfway through his night. 2 more games to play. But for Neil, this is the last chance he has to do anything this evening. The last chance he has to make any kind of inroads on this Group B. If he finishes with 2 points, he knows he has got a mountain of work to do
40
going into Friday's play. 4 points, pretty much as you were. And I mean that Keanu, all of a sudden,
96
is probably the player languish at the bottom and the man who will know he has to win his last game against Jack Drayton. It looks as if he's peaking at the right time to stand any kind of chance going into Friday.
85 100
Well, it wouldn't be a surprise to see this turn into a rugged old scrap.
140
We do enjoy a little scrap, Sam, here at the Super Series.
And Velzen going all the way across.
100 near the car.
Manages
136
to get a ton, but Duff first poke at the 136. Unable to get. But he's going to leave himself handy on tops.
96
Should he return, but Keanu van
120.
Velzen already threatened a 120 this evening.
Taking his time, just making sure everything's set, everything's in order. The dart
48
didn't follow orders.
near the car. 40
One had to find the treble, and now the Duff man eyeing tops for
Each on the first leg,
1-0.
Neil Duff.
The problem Keanu van Velzen has is he's being restricted
Second
to
leg, Keanu
opportunities
with
like
first,
that. He's only had 4 darts at a double all in. Didn't get a go against Simon Stevenson. Only had 4 darts at a double against Jamai van den Herik. One of them being the double 16 for the 152. And so that what's kind of the illustration of that is the fact that he's being comprehensively outscored. He's finding himself a visit, a turn behind in legs. Thus, the opportunities he's getting are few and far
100.
between, and the opportunities he does get are now to by and large, 3 darters, and 3 darters where he needs 2 trebles to have a
57.
go at something on the outer ring.
$60.
Both pleading with the board for more points. Similar to that of Scott Taylor this afternoon,
57.
but this time around just without the fairly intimidating stare down.
That's a rare one,
85.
1 for nil, but good recovery of the last. And that's the first dart for Keanu. Now, when he's playing well, he tends to follow. He has done with the last there. But there has been a few wild ones of him this evening.
As we've said time and time again,
40.
in this sort of group, you just can't afford to do it.
In terms of standard, you have to treat this like a pro tour.
46.
And for Keanu, he's not been anywhere near that as of yet. So this is probably the first time he's played in a room or played in a competition where the standard throughout
100.
everybody has to come up
Keanu
against is as
143.
competitive as it is right here in this Champions League Group B. And sometimes that could be somewhat of a daunting task. He looks at the 143 and able to get. Duff only needs the 1 treble here to give himself a poke and a double
24.
for the break and a 2-0 lead.
Herik 116.
Decent enough marker, which he's not for the first time utilised
He's on the second
to
leg build-up.
perfection. And now the Duff man is making
Third leg
his
build-up
move
first.
of the
Game
Group
on.
B table.
Straight back down the hockey line, just to illustrate to his young Dutch opponent, I have broken you. And he'd be hoping to have broken the
28.
back of Keanu. But that has just opened up the door a little bit.
123.
Brilliant angle that. Some cammage!
$96.
He's getting towards now or never time for Van Velzen, despite it still only being night 1 of the group. The problem for
100.
Keanu is that when he has been defeated, the defeats have by and large been heavy ones. Finding himself 2-0 down just makes things even worse, and having top of
28.
the table Jack Drayton still left to play makes things even worse. He has to find something, and find something quickly.
He's already at -8 in terms of his legs difference. If he's going to make it
45.
through, he's going to have to be around level par in terms of his legs difference, probably low in the positive range. And how many times do we say it here, Sam, where if you're going to win, you've got to win big. If you're going to lose games, you've got to lose them
97.
tight. He's the only player at the halfway point to have been beaten to 0 by Simon Stevenson, who subsequently was then beaten to 0 himself by Jack
57.
Drayton. If he gets beaten to 0 again here, you can make an argument that come the end of night 1, he could find himself out the equation. Yes, he can get the points on the board, but the legs difference
100.
could cost him big time.
Yeah, that defeat for Stevenson just after midnight, so technically Friday. That was his
100.
first defeat
Herik
since
152.
Tuesday afternoon in Group A. His first dart placement from Duff has really not been on point.
82.
Yes, he
Keanu
manages to
76.
rectify the situation, but he's doing it the hard way.
Hasn't had a dart at a double, Keanu Van Velzen, since game 1 tonight. But he's going to get 2 here.
Game shot
And he
the third
takes the
leg,
opportunity
Keanu
to
Van
his
Velzen.
credit. Break back. The game returns to throw at 2-1. And all of a sudden, this
Fourth
is
leg,
where this
Keanu
best of
to
7
first.
format can change so quickly.
Game on.
2-0 down. Could have, perhaps should have been 3-zip behind. Wins this leg. All of a sudden, they're back on terms.
Yeah, big moment. Big leg of the match, this.
140.
Van Velzen, just with a hold of throw, can get himself back into this match, back into this group. Duff can break Keanu
30.
again, then Duff is almost there, and Van Velzen arguably is almost gone.
Well, this isn't the
96.
first time that Neil Duff has played somebody by the name of Van Velzen at a Champions Week here at the Super Series, because rewind the clock all the way back to August 2024.
100.
He took on Keanu's older brother Marvin, and it's fair to say it didn't quite go to plan for Neil. Played 3 times that week. Marvin will win the head-to-head 2-1. Neil will be placed in Group C. Marvin played in Group B. Neil failed to qualify for the Champions Night on that occasion. Marvin would go on to lift the title. As for
105.
younger brother
Down on the
Keanu,
car, 170.
doesn't have to if he doesn't want to, but I get the sense if he gets a couple of trebles, he's having a look at the bull. I get the sense he's going to have a look at the bull. And he almost got the bull as well,
145.
just a smidgen underneath.
Fair play to him for going for it. Just trying to find something, as we discussed. That's what he's got to do,
96.
just to
Keanu the
drag
car,
himself
25.
back into things. Nevertheless, he can still polish this leg off in 14. Well, don't mind this.
Game shot on the
And it
fourth leg,
works.
Keanu Van Velzen.
Lovely from Van Velzen. He is back into contention.
Fifth leg, Neil to throw first. Game on.
It's not something that's really kicked on, but it's something that's been a mini trend of 1 or 2 players that we've seen here and subsequently go on to the tour,
140.
where they'll prefer doubles that are down a side. Now, Connor Scott, for example, loves double 13, loves double 14. Doesn't necessarily like the breakdown
100.
of those numbers, but loves the central position of the pair. So if he can, he will leave it. If he's got space in a leg, he'll leave it.
100.
Yeah, certainly method to what some may call madness.
Oh, Connor Scott is a
57.
darting dictionary, an encyclopedia of all sorts of madness. Don't know if he still does now, but I remember speaking to him. He uses
65.
the Super Series as a practice tool where he'll play one of the players in his own head and he'll try and outmaneuver them. Imagine some
44.
games are easier than
Neil the
others.
car, 116.
And this leg so far has been relatively easy for Neil Duff. He's done it before and
Getting
he's
shot on
done
the
it
fifth leg, Neil Duff.
again. What a fantastic response that was from the Duff man.
Sixth leg, Keanu to throw first. Game on.
Rinse and repeat. 1 away from finishing his night with 4 points on the board. He would have felt before a dart was thrown this evening, Neil Duff, that was probably minimum requirement.
81.
Get to that, you're in play. Anything more, you're in a good position. Anything less, you leave yourself with work to do. And he'll probably think if he can do the same
100.
tomorrow night, and the legs difference is okay, that should be enough to qualify through. Now, he won't care whether he wins the group, comes second, comes third. As long as he's there,
98.
he will deal with any takers come Saturday night.
Quite right too. It's all about, as we hear so often from so many players, just get to
125.
Saturday.
The extra couple of quid is irrelevant if you win 25 grand.
121.
Keanu is showing his battling qualities.
96.
Neil Duff wants to get this match sewn up as soon as possible.
96.
Because you can make an argument about position for qualification, but I think even that's irrelevant on a Champions Night. There's
44.
been a couple of slips and
Keanu
drags
Car,
into the 5, and
105.
it's something I'm sure he'll iron out overnight. As for Keanu Van Velzen, he might want a 5, but with Dart 2, depending on what he does with Dart 1.
He was contemplating his options, I think, electing to go for a
65.
dig at tops
The other
tops.
car, 136.
This will certainly sting for Van Velzen. He does get a chance to come back.
And I can tell you now, having seen that, that would have put an extra
48.
bit of pep in Neil Duff's
Keanu
step to have taken out the 136. Doesn't go to plan, and so this to take us all the way.
Again, sets himself. Double 10. Gets it with his last, and the mini celebration from Van Velzen sees us go all the way to a last leg decider, where the Duff man has the darts. The pair exchange a fist bump. You get the sense this is a crucial stage of the group.
125.
This leg determines whether tonight has been an okay night or a below par night for Neil Duff. It's as simple as that. Come what may, he will come
100.
back out fighting tomorrow. But he doesn't want to give himself work to do. However,
140.
2 visits to the board, 2 big treble turns.
Yeah, a complete reversal from Duff's
100.
form in the previous last leg shootout he endured. That was against Simon Stevenson.
55.
Duff didn't have the scoring power on that occasion, and despite that visit, he still should be comfortably ahead. Or should he?
100.
Only just.
What about leaving himself on a 2-darter? Does exactly that. 84 left after 12 to get this game wrapped up. What reply has Keanu Van Velzen got here? What can he leave himself on?
60.
Nothing
Herik
tangible.
84.
Well, this is where Duff is so good. Gets the treble, gets the double, experience showing, class showing. Neil Duff rounds off his night with a couple of big wins. Things go from bad to worse for Van Velzen, but he does get another match to rectify things. 4-3 in favour of Duff. That result could well prove significant. Week 12 was the final chance to qualify for Series 13 Champions Week. And Group A saw Kenya's David Munya take to the live lounge stage for the first time, getting a victory in his debut match. Jamai van den Herik was on the hunt for his first Super Series trophy as he joined the week on Monday. But it was Alex Spellman who took the early advantage in qualifying through Group A. He progressively improved across the three-day group and looked in good shape for finals night. In Group C, Adrian Gray and Jamie Kelling came through the field in qualifying for the Saturday showdown, whilst Group B saw an emphatic display from Jamai van den Herik, who qualified along with Dean Finn and debutant Dmitry Rogov to complete the finals night lineup. In the last weekly final of the series, Rogov was on the wrong end of two last leg deciders as Finn, van den Herik, Gray and Spellman all made it to the semi-finals. And an in-form Adrian Gray faced Jamai van den Herik in the final, neither having won a week before. It was the Dutchman who did the job with a 4-1 victory, becoming the last player into Series 13 Champions Week. Two more live matches left to bring you on, quite frankly, a superb opening night of Group B, befitting of this Champions Week of Series 13. Jamai van den Herik back here for the second consecutive week after winning Week 12, taking on Simon Stevenson, who threatened to run away with the group and then went and lost 4-0 to Jack Drayton. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but such is the nature of this group and such is the nature of this week.
Indeed. When Stevenson does lose, he loses big.
Simon to throw first.
Because his last two losses, albeit a couple of days apart, have been to 0. Nathan Potter beat him on Tuesday lunchtime, and then he would win his next 7.
One of them, 40.
But he's come crashing down in the leg difference in the last 60 minutes. And the position they are both in now is one of putting your index finger on your chin and thinking, what's next? Because you've got 4 players on 4 points. And we already think this could be 4 people vying for 3 spots.
100.
Because it looks like Keanu van Velzen in this group is someone that everybody's targeted and disposed of.
Keanu
96.
still has one more match to play. He faces Jack Drayton. The final match of this evening's play. Stevenson
121.
or van den Herik will end on 6 points. Quite which one that will be remains to be seen. With van den Herik could almost emulate what Derek
61.
Coulson did on
Southern
Monday
Car
in losing
140.
the opening match 4-0 and then just blitzing the field. However, Stevenson is always
100.
going to be
Jamaica
so dangerous.
164.
Here we go again. Tops after 12. It's almost as if when he left 140 after 9, you knew he was going to score 100. It's alarmingly consistent.
64.
And the fact that
Southern
Van den
Car
Herik has left
40.
164 again, I think that's the 3rd time he's done that tonight. Oh, now. What an opportunity this is for Jamai.
Jamaica 100.
That was staggering. We have just never seen that from Simon Stevenson, such has been his tremendous consistency. What a find that is.
68. Samuel Carr 32.
Last time Stevenson was down here, he had a little bit of trouble getting over the line. Doesn't have the gift of time on this occasion. He's got to be sharp. And he
on
is.
the first leg, Simon Stevenson.
And I suppose the only question mark when it comes to Simon here this week is,
Second
can
leg,
he
Jamai to
play
throw first. Game on.
really late? He's never played in Group B before. Can you do it? You know they say this in football. Can you do it in a a groggy Tuesday at Stoke, something along those lines?
97.
Well, can you do it at the Modus Super Series past midnight on a Friday? Or possibly a Saturday morning? We're about to find out.
100.
Well, here's the thing. We've got 4 players on 4 points right now. They possibly might be thinking along the lines of, I'm halfway there. I get to 8 points. I'm going to be in
57.
Champions Night. Here's why that is a dangerous thing to think. Because over the last 3 series, Series 10, 11 and 12, there has been a player who's been on 8 points in Group B and has not qualified. Series 10, it was Shane McGurk. Series 11, it was Derek Coulson. Series 12, it was Jamie Owens.
180.
Here's the message. Get to 10. Don't settle for 8 points. Get to double figures.
100. Jamai car 167.
Yeah, if it can happen to Derek Coulson in this building, then that tells you it really could happen to anyone.
$93. Simon car 161.
He wants to trim it down. And he should go to the bull here.
90.
He's done well there.
Jamai car 74.
That's a lovely dart. Forces Van den Herik to take the 74 out.
Managed to hold his nerve when posed the question against Neil Duff.
34. Simon
This
car
time
71.
against Stevenson. He's been found wanting. Stevenson. Well, it's not a total disaster, but it's less than ideal. It's the bull.
46. Jamai car 40.
You don't mind hitting the bull in the leg if it is to end it. But if you have 2 shots at it and one of them misses to win it, you feel bitter. There you have it. Third dartitis there from Van den Herik, the one that hurts the most. He twists the knife.
First. Game on.
I get the feeling that Van den Herik is going to sleep very well this evening.
45.
It's been a long day for him, travelling from the Netherlands to get here. And ironically, he doesn't even live that far from Rotterdam, where the Premier League was on Thursday night.
59.
Alblasserdam to Rotterdam is a very short car journey.
It's almost as if you can excuse in the slow start he provided.
60.
The early stages of the day, it was pretty poor, just an 81 average in that 4-0 defeat against Jack Drayton. But since then, Van den Herik has been at his usual
57.
brilliant best.
This time last week, he was winning 4 out of 4. And he was so far above everybody else in Group B
60.
last week, it wasn't even a contest. He was through in Group B in week 12 with 3 games to spare.
96.
It's not even a long group situation. 5 games played, 5 wins, done. That's not going to happen this week.
140.
No, but that is the way to do it. So much still left to look forward to in both groups C and B.
134.
You think there's anybody else in Champions Week who would fit into his trousers? Look like pipe cleaners.
100. Jamai car 155.
Well, the answer is a resounding no.
Honestly, they look like the kind of trousers that would have been worn by the Joker in the 1960s.
139. Simon car 96.
Pressure applied.
Nice marker for the 60. Cushioned it. Lovely.
88. Jamai car 16.
If there's been one quibble about the Stevenson game this evening, it has been around about 8-8. Landon Herik, the same target. 2-2s.
14. Simon Ricard 8.
You cannot be gifting Stevenson opportunities like this.
No, you can't. He's got a marker. And he uses it. He just shuffled off the flight. That was perfectly done.
Forfeit Jamai to throw first.
Professional visit, despite the shake of the head from Simon.
He doesn't give much away. That's about as much as you get.
180.
And that's how Jamai responds. The ability to withstand disappointment and move on within 10 seconds is what this sport is all about. In certain other sports, you might get minutes to process and move on. This is, honestly, one of the most difficult sports in the world. And it's getting harder because the visit counter is getting shorter and shorter. Something bad happens. You've got to move on within the amount of time it takes to run 100 meters.
Depends on who's doing the running.
135.
Nevertheless, both players are putting in a real stellar leg.
Yeah, Vanden Herik is playing like his country person Femke Bol sprints in the last 100. It's quick. Having said that, he might be pipped at the post.
Well, he's missed darts for an 11 and 12 dart leg, has Vanden Herik.
56.
And he's
Jamai
relatively
16.
fortunate that he's not been made to pay by Stevenson.
Twos again. This time he does find it. We have a Desmond game. Who will be the first person to make it to 6 points? It can't be Duff. He's sitting on 4 points and a leg difference of -1, and that will not change overnight.
140.
What can change is what these two do and then what Jack Drayton does next. If he loses to Keanu van Velzen, he will stay on 4. And then the winner of this one will lead overnight.
And that in turn would then bring Keanu back into contention himself, and then
140
would not be lost for Van Velzen.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's play the crystal ball game, shall we? Winner of this game goes to 6 points.
93.
Doesn't really matter at this stage who it is. But if Van Velzen does the double over Drayton, he's on 4 with Drayton and the loser of this game and Duff. And then all of a sudden, anything's possible.
60.
Anything is possible. That's what happens in a Group B.
125.
Things can change very quickly. Things can get away from a player very quickly.
134.
Okay. Pick that one out and pick it apart. I can't remember anybody leaving 27 on purpose.
Car 27.
Well, 12's the double of choice.
15. Jamai Car 126.
And this would hurt Stevenson.
Ironically, off the back of 2 treble 19s, potentially. Just needs 1. And he didn't get close to it.
54.
No, by
Simon
Jamai's
Carr,
standards,
12.
those were just nowhere near. A reprieve for Stevenson. Has the marker again. Over adjusts. Bottom of the
Game's on
board.
the fifth leg, Simon
Pinged.
Stevenson.
And the celebration returns.
Yeah, he's working hard now, isn't he? Might be
Sixth leg,
starting to
Jamai
feel the
go
effects of the
first.
full week.
Game on.
He would love to get out of this game with a win. It doesn't matter whether it's rubbish or incredible or somewhere in between, as long as it's
57.
enough.
Yeah, he is doing enough to show his battling qualities in this one.
60.
Moments like that is when you know Simon Stevenson fancies it.
60.
You were speaking to Derek Coulson on Wednesday afternoon after he won Group A, and we were referencing about Simon. Derek's analysis
60.
of Simon was so perfect. More often than not, he hits a treble every visit, and he's so straight. In the first 4 legs of this match,
100.
he barely deviated away from the 20. And that's what Duff's been doing well tonight as well. And look at what just happened.
81.
I get the feeling that Simon is starting to flag a little bit here. And he would dearly like to get out of this game with a W as soon as possible, but that is by no means guaranteed.
96.
Yeah, I think both players starting to show signs of fatigue.
For different reasons as well.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's fine again.
80.
One more spurt is all it needs. One more treble is all he needs. And it could be a bookended evening for Jamai van den Herik in the worst possible way.
82.
Because
Simon
it could
Carr,
be
120.
bookended losses.
Goes the wrong side of his marker.
100.
The treble
Jamai
arrives
Carr,
too late.
106.
And then Herik, 106. It simply has to go.
This would be the biggest finish of the match by 66 points. Nowhere near found.
66.
And Stevenson
Simon
could
Carr,
top
20.
the table overnight.
2 10s. Up to double 5. And
Game shown on the
Simon
mat, Simon
Stevenson
Stevenson.
has had a rock-solid opening night of Group B. Just one minor block on the copybook, but he would have certainly have taken 6 points for night 1. Stevenson doing pretty much all he can and does enough with a 4-2 win over Jamai van den Herik. Champions Week is a match between bottom of the table Keanu van Velzen and Jack Drayton, who, with any win here, will top the table overnight. And in commentary, it's Paul Nicholson and Henry Deacon.
Thank you, Sam. So game number 25 of 25 on this Champions Week Thursday. It's a meeting of KVV and JD. Two young guns going head-to-head as Jack Drayton and Keanu van Velzen go head-to-head. And for Jack, an opportunity to put himself onto 6 points overnight, to put himself to the summit of the Group B table, and to hold all the cards going into Friday's play. It starts with an embrace, but how is it going to end up, Paul Nicholson? On the basis of tonight, if both play to type, there should only be one result.
You were saying?
Ignore every previous statement I may have come out with.
It was a perfect lead in, Henry.
100.
But then Van Velzen said, you what? I'm not having that. Don't forget about me. And if I may say so, I think this game's all about him.
42.
If Drayton doesn't win this game, he's right in the middle of the melting pot. If he does win the game, he's right in the middle of the melting pot. Getting to the top of the table is by no means a measure of how successful this group will be. Obviously, being 2 points closer to qualification is good. But his safety net doesn't exist, even if he wins
54.
this game. But if Van Velzen can get a win, he will be only one win behind 3 players.
Well, it looks like Keanu van Velzen is in the mood to do some jettisoning.
57.
Looking to kibosh the dreams of Drayton topping the table overnight. And he looks at 79. Sixham here to go 1-0 to the good. Has a look at double top. And gets double top. Just squeezes into the bottom right-hand corner. And the Dutchman 1-0 to the good. And for Keanu, chances have come in short supply tonight. Just 12 darts at a double across his 3 games so far. Although, to his credit, he has taken 5 of those opportunities.
85.
Only on 2 occasions in Modus Super Series history has somebody qualified for Champions Night through a group like this.
95.
With more losses than wins. 2 occasions. That's it. Series 4 and Series 5. Colin Osborne, he did get through in Series 4 with 3 wins from 8.
38.
It was really close. The following series, Marino Michaels, he got through on 6 points. Coincidentally, they both would make the final on the
100.
Saturday night. But they are the only 2 people who have qualified through a group like this with 3 wins from 8 games. And there are plenty of people who have not qualified by winning 4. So here's the message. Win 5. And if you're Van Velzen, that means you've got to win everything now.
Well, 10 points will guarantee qualification, providing every player wins a match in this group. If we're going to be realistic as far as the points total is concerned to qualify through, 8 points, positive legs difference, you're pretty much going to be there.
Jack 78.
In the last 3 series, we've seen people not qualifying 8 points. That's a worrying trend. This is not worrying for Drayton. Oh my, he's left a scar on the board.
He's trying to take the feather out himself.
You're supposed to let the referee do that, actually. Zinksy saying, you're doing my job for me.
That's the worst Yorkshire accent I've ever heard.
I'm not going to try and do an impression of Paul Hinks. That's incredibly
81.
disrespectful.
Jack 40.
He is a legendo. That's an equaliser for Jack Drayton, 1-1.
Third leg, Keanu to throw first.
You see, took a chunk out the board. He's a cheeky chappy, isn't he, old Jack Drayton?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of work to do on his
85.
staring down the lens like Conan Whitehead. Nobody does it like Conan.
So you actually get to spend 5 minutes with Jack. He's such a likeable young man, really approachable chap.
140.
One of them people, I get the sense, the more he does stuff in the sport, and if he stays the way he is as a person, he's going to be very
140.
popular everywhere he goes.
Yeah, if anything, he gives off a bit of a Ross Smith vibe.
135.
Could be a bit of a poster boy if his trajectory in the sport keeps going up and up. You fancy a bit of a brain teaser at this late hour, Henry?
Otherwise known as
95.
toast teaser.
No, that's yours. This is a little different. 10 points has seen somebody finish third in Group B
100.
in Champions Week. On how many occasions?
I'm going to say twice.
You would be right.
Oh,
It hasn't happened in a
64.
very, very,
Jelly
very
car,
long time.
126.
More on that in a second. More. 50.
101.
Only gets
Keanu,
half.
Jelly car, 117.
so 117 for Keanu to go 2-1 up in the contest. Well, he had to check that his footwear was all equipped to then drop to flight as a consequence.
Why does he keep fiddling with his shoes, by the way?
I've got no idea. I don't even know how it becomes a superstition, to be honest with you. However, looking at the 117 to go 2-1 to the good, unable to get.
57. Jelly car, 25.
2-8. This is that tricky shot we've been talking about.
9.
It is a problem.
Keanu the car, 60.
Work to do for Jack Drayton on that particular approach. And it gives Van Velzen a chance to go 2-1 to the good. Now, this is awkward. Has to pick a side. Well, I don't know what that is. That's the worst 6-7 attempt I've ever seen. Well, that's not going to be 2-1.
40. Jelly car, 16.
It's not a 6-7. It's a 1-6 needed. And that's a beautiful dart.
Jack Drayton.
Oh, he gives it the full Bob Anderson. And that's a very good 88.
Forfeit Jack to through first. Game on.
What even is a 6-7?
Don't start.
I genuinely
Anyway,
I've got no
back
idea.
to the teaser of sorts. Yes, Henry was right. Twice we've had players on 10 points. That is only sufficient for third position in a Group B in Champions Week. The last time it happened was Series 3. Scott Taylor. He was behind Darrell Pilgrim and John Worsley, the Womble. Here's the good thing about that Series 3 Group B.
44.
They were all on 10 points. It was really close. Only 5 legs between first and third. First person to do it? Series 1.
60.
Christopher Mason. 10 points. All square leg difference. And he was behind Darrell Pilgrim again. And
42.
the eventual champion, the Barbarian, Conan Whitehead.
And if it weren't for a rogue bullseye on a 1-3-2, Chris
131.
Mason's champions night could have had a very different complexion to it.
That's so true. Lost both of his games 4-3, didn't he?
43.
They gave away.
Jelly car,
Who knows what history
170.
would have been told and written for Mr. Mason.
That's a
96.
good pick off. Just imagine if Van Velzen had hit that tops just now, how things could be so different.
57. Jelly
Drayton
car,
really has
74.
rolled on from taking that third leg.
Double 16 for 3-1.
Game shown
Full
on
T
forfeit, Jack
data.
Drayton.
And Drayton a leg away now from topping the table overnight.
Fifth leg Keanu to throw first.
What do you think?
Game on.
Is this going to be 4 players fighting it out for 3 spots?
I think so. I just get the sense with Keanu that he's going to have to win all 4 tomorrow. And I just get the sense that it's just going to look unlikely.
135.
I think Jack and Simon are going to be in a great position. I just get the sense at this early stage that Neil and Jamai are going to be scrapping it out over third spot potentially.
I don't know. I think for the 4th consecutive series, I think we're going to see someone in 8 points who's not going to be in Champions Night. As to who that person could be, I have absolutely no idea. You're going to have to tune in tonight from 10 o'clock.
Put it this way, I'll be stunned
96.
if we don't see Jack Drayton there on Saturday.
Yeah, if he's going to get 2 wins on Friday night going into Saturday morning,
140.
he will be favourite against Van Velzen, of course. That's a nice exchange. I don't know what happened there. But he's going to have to get a win against Duff, Stevenson, or Jamai as well. They don't give those out at the door.
140. Jaduka 92.
Well, Keanu leaving himself on a bogey, so Drayton's got time and space.
32.
Not the worst result, especially when Van Velzen is on that 165. And as they say in the armed forces, when you're trying to
60.
get something out of the air, this could be splash 4 for leg 4. And 2 points.
40.
The 2 match darts are come and gone.
32.
Van Velzen gets a reprieve. The lucky tap of the right shoe. He's superstitious. You may as well call in the Rafael Nadal of darts.
How on earth is he going to hit this? Oh, that's really
Gains on
good.
the 5th leg, Keanu Van Velzen.
Saw a path, took it, and didn't hesitate. Great shot.
6th leg Jack to throw.
Do you
first.
remember
Game on.
when you said that exact line, or a line similar to that, when Jensen Walker had a seemingly impossible double 8 to win Champions Week against Samuel Spivey?
Oh, I remember.
93.
You've got to know your angles on certain doubles. This is what we're talking about with Drayton on double 8. If he covers it slightly
96.
when he hits the outside wire, you've got to find a way to hit it. Is going right on the hockey better for you, or is going over the top like Van Velzen's just done
100.
better for you? You've got to figure that out because you never know when you might need it. And let's face it, Jensen Walker needed it to win the title. He knew his angles.
96.
He got it done.
Well, both of these players looking to channel exactly what Jensen Walker did around about this time last year, being a young talent that picks up the biggest title of their career to press here. And look what it did for
58.
Jensen Walker. The tail effect of that, had a decent season on the Dev Tour, qualified for the UK Open, got to the semi-finals of the Lakeside, where he was only beaten by Mitchell Laurie in the Final Four of that competition. This could be some stepping stone. Look what it's done for the likes of Andreas Harrison, for example.
99.
I know what you're saying, Henry, but for some people, this is what they want. Some people have said that this is their world championship. They don't think about Lakeside. They don't think about Alexandra Palace. They don't think about anything else. Coming here and winning this title is exactly what they dream of. And if I may say so, the person who is leading in Group C, that is his motivation in the next 2 days.
96. Jaduka 116.
Beyond that, there isn't another ambition.
Another opportunity to wrap it up.
96.
And another match dart at tops goes amiss. The
tighter this game is, the better it is for Drayton, potentially. Or maybe it's better for the chasing pack because
39. Jaduka
they wouldn't
20.
mind keeping Drayton on 4 points.
It looks like Keanu Van Velzen's got it all to do tomorrow night. A mountain to climb. As for Jack Drayton, he's going to go into Friday top of Group B. 3 wins out of 4, and he's really picked off where he left off last time out when he picked up the title earlier on in March. So Jack Drayton gets over the line, a 4-2 winner over Keanu Van Velzen. That's the tail of the tape from our final match of the night. He tops the way, him and Simon Stevenson, both on 6 points at the top of the group. Well, we're going to get some reaction and analysis on the Pluto TV studio. Paul Nicholson's going to hot-foot his way over to join Sam Mullenham. Comments, thoughts, observations and analysis on the other side of this short break.
Well, that is all she wrote on the opening night of Group B. And Jack Drayton and Simon Stevenson, despite that 4-0 loss to Drayton, have both had really solid evenings. That said, Jamai van den Herik and Neil Duff have been relatively solid themselves, leaving Keanu Van Velzen cut adrift at the bottom of the table with a less than ideal leg difference. He has it all to do tomorrow night, but Drayton and Stevenson in a real good spot. Paul Nicholson back alongside me, hot-footed it from the commentary box. Nico, how do you surmise what we've seen this evening?
It's pretty much what I thought would happen. Speaking to yourself a little bit earlier on, we feared that maybe Van Velzen was being thrown to the Sharks, particularly Duff and Drayton. Let's face it, come Friday night, he's going to have to win all 4 games and hope that he can do enough. Now, Lewis Pride was in the same position last week. In week 12, he didn't win a game on the Thursday night. He won 4 out of 4 on the Friday. It wasn't enough. He still didn't make it through. So by virtue of that, you think maybe he's left himself with too much to do. But I don't think anybody feels safe in the top 4. They know they've still got a lot more to do, particularly Drayton. He's leading the table, but he's still going to have to win 2 games. And it's so competitive that 2 games winning is going to be very, very hard to get.
Yeah, it seems as though Jack Drayton came back this evening rejuvenated, refreshed. It was pretty evident after Tuesday that he wasn't going to win Group A and maybe left a little bit in reserve, and he's come back in real fine fettle this evening.
Yeah, especially in this game. You consider what Stevenson was doing in the previous match. That is an incredible performance. It maybe should have been a little bit better statistically, but as far as his situation is concerned, it didn't need to be any better than that, because he got Stevenson at the right time. He did exactly what he needed to do, and he gave his leg difference a real kick in the right direction. Drayton was very good tonight and very urgent.
We didn't see that scoreline coming, though, did we? Given what Stevenson achieved in his previous match to that one, 109 average, that was special.
Yeah, this is what Simon can do. He can 140 you to death. He will just constantly keep it straight, keep it consistent, and double efficiently. And if you think that you need to score a mammoth amount of 180s to get 109, 110 average, he's just proven that you don't necessarily have to do that. He had 180 and averaged nearly 110. That's all about consistent scoring throughout the performance and doubling almost perfectly. That was a wonderful showing.
He is just Mr. Consistent. He's displayed that time and time again all week. Neil Duff, who shows his class time and time again whenever he's in this building. Solid, I think, is a word which would be fair enough.
He's played well tonight. He's scored excellently. Maybe he slipped on a few key doubles tonight, and he will maybe put his head on the pillow and think about the odd double 12, maybe a shot here and there. But the thing is, he's pushed everybody he's played. He's the person who really is very, very dangerous outside of the top 2, because he's been in these situations more than anybody. Henry and I speculated that maybe he wants this trophy here too much. If he can relax just that 1 to 5% come Friday night and just really let go on the doubling and finishing, I think he'll cruise through.
We know Group B is a group that can spring a shock, in particular on night 2. But for now, at least, the table is suggesting like it's going to be a Neil Duff, Jamai Van and Herik shootout for that 3rd spot. Jamai started slow and finished quite slow as well. But in the middle of the session, he played some magnificent stuff.
Yeah, especially against Neil. My word. We have seen what he's capable of a lot over the last couple of weeks. We had a little taste of what he could do in 2025. And then when he got to the Saturday night, there was a bit of a blockade, you felt. But now that he's figured out the Saturday, less than a week ago, we're starting to see what he can do on a regular basis. What he's going to have to do is win more games than he loses come Friday night. I think he's going to have to win 3 out of the 4 games that he plays. And that's a tough ask. But considering what he was like in Group A last week, and what he's done tonight, I don't see why he can't.
And the equation is pretty simple for Keanu Van Velzen. He cannot put a foot wrong tomorrow.
Not at all. It's going to have to be the best day of his career in this building. It's going to have to be better than the Saturday in week 2. That was good, but tonight's going to have to be great. It's what you've got to be if you want to be champion.
Nico, thank you. That double session flew by. Let's do it again tomorrow, shall we?
Yeah, let's.
Let's just have a quick little check at the Group C table, just so we know where things stand heading in to tomorrow. And Steve Green sitting very pretty indeed. A perfect day for him. A perfect 5 wins out of 5. Chaz Barstow leading the charge for 2nd spot, but Taylor, Zagansky, Potter, and even Graham Hall are waiting ready to pounce. Still plenty more left to come up then on the Modus Super Series channel here on Pluto TV. Coming up after the break, we have the Champions Choice Challenge. Some very small trebles indeed. 1 o'clock your start time tomorrow afternoon for the culmination of Group C. Can Steve Green see the job through and join Derek Coulson in Champions Night? And Jack Drayton, top of Group B. We're back here at 10 o'clock UK time for the final session before Champions Night, where we start at 7 o'clock on Saturday live on Pluto TV. Who will win? The crown vacated by Charlie Mamby. An international pairs, the third renewal of which starts, as always, Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. So the lads from Group A are showing Group B just how it is done. Van Velzen, Herik and Neil Duff have it all to do to topple the top two. Join us tomorrow for the culmination of Group C and B. Good night.
Steve Green!
Keanu, Van Velzen, Radek, Sagansky,
Derek Coulson! Graham Hall!
Scott Taylor, Neil Duff, Nathan Porter,
Jack Drayton!
Chaz Barstow!
Simon Stevenson! Jamai Van Herik!
He will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have one dart.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit.
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And the Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jurgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2-6.
Did he go for the tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Kaplas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He is 2 darts away from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes the Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short format darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs 1 more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the 1 treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
101! Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double 4 for the match.
Game! Shot!